I married Xun'er, but she refuses to consummate the marriage. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 176 Xiao Yan. Disgusting thing. You want me to serve you? See how long you live? Chief, what happened? Not far below the man's seat, an old man with a red poisonous snake on his shoulder frowned and said, "Damn it." The seal that suppressed Yao Ming suddenly broke. The man in black stood up, his face cold, and a subtle voice reached the old man's ears. Yao Ming broke the seal. How is this possible? Hearing this, the old man's face changed drastically. Chief, hurry over. I'll stabilize the situation here first, and then quickly rush over there to support you. Don't worry, I will never let Yao Ming turn over again. The man in black smiled grimly, moved his body, and disappeared on the throne. Haha, an elder came to report the matter. The chief will meet him first. Everyone continue. Seeing the man in black disappear, the old man also stood up, smiling and comforting the many snakemen in the hall. The bottom of the underworld. Haha, I didn't expect that I, Yao Ming, could actually survive this day. After escaping from the trap, Yao Ming was very excited. However, his voice obviously sounded weak. At this moment, it is estimated that an ordinary Xun strongman who appeared here could easily kill him. Let's go. Your good brother may have come here in a hurry to take your life. Gu Fei remembered that as long as the seal here was broken, Yao Xiao would be able to sense it immediately. Yao Xiao. Yao Ming's eyes were filled with hatred, and he angrily read Yao Xiao's name. Next, during the rapid ascent, Gu Fei and Yao Ming once again encountered those strange black snakes born in the cold water of Heartbroken. Yao Ming seemed to have a way to control them. After making some strange calls, he made these strange snakes avoid them far away. In the shallow area of Heartbroken, Queen Medusa was trying to practice here. And above that, a figure in black quickly appeared, and then looked at the cold Heartbroken below with a sinister look. Who are you? Suddenly, the man in black noticed Xiao Yan, who was standing next to the 9 netherworld. Who am I? What's your business? Xiao Yan glanced at the man in black. His venomous eyes made her uncomfortable, so she spoke in a bad tone. Little girl, the 9 netherworld is the sacred place of the 9 netherworld Python clan, and I am the current clan leader. Do you think it has anything to do with me? Yao Ming smiled coldly at Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan, what happened? At this moment, King Hei Yan noticed the movement and flew out from the shallow area of the lake. She and Xiao Yan were both one in a million beauties. When they appeared at the same time, the man in black immediately had evil thoughts in his mind. If you trespass into the holy land of our clan, you will generally be punished by the 10,000 snakes. But if you two are willing to serve me, I can let you go and spare your lives. Bah, you disgusting guy. How dare you ask me and Sister King to serve you? You are simply courting death. The man in black's words were undoubtedly a suicidal act, and Xiao Yan was angered. She burst out with a powerful aura, and immediately slapped the man in black. This aura. The moment the man in black felt the aura of Xiao Yan, his face changed. He didn't expect that such a young and harmless-looking beautiful girl could have such a terrifying cultivation. Facing Xiao Yan's terrifying palm, he subconsciously wanted to dodge, but he felt that the surrounding space was locked. Bang! Xiao Yan slapped casually, and a huge gust of wind fell on the man in black, instantly knocking him to the ground and smashing a big hole. Xiao Yan took action. Gu Fei, on his side, sensed the fluctuations above and accelerated to catch up. Yao Ming followed closely behind. After Gu Fei gave him the healing elixir, his fighting spirit was recovering rapidly. Soon, Gu Fei and Yao Ming rushed out of the lake and came to the sky. When Yao Ming saw Xiao Yan, his heart beat violently. He could feel the strong aura emanating from Xiao Yan. Soon, Yao Ming's eyes were placed on the big pit on the ground again. He sensed a very familiar aura from there. Brother Gu Fei, just now a guy spoke rudely to me and Sister King Hei, and I slapped him into the ground. Xiao Yan told Gu Fei what happened just now. Is he dead? Gu Fei asked. He shouldn't be completely dead yet. Xiao Yan said nonchalantly. What kind of terrifying existence is this woman? Listening to the conversation between Gu Fei and Xiao Yan, Yao Ming couldn't help but get nervous. As the smoke and dust slowly dissipated, everyone could see clearly that in the deep pit, there was a bloody figure. Yao Xiaoshan, you bastard, you have come to this day. Yao Ming recognized the bloody figure in the deep pit and shouted angrily, brother, please let me go. I was confused at that time. I was instigated by the sinister villain of the Great Elder. At this time, the extremely weak Yao Xiaoshan slowly raised his eyes to look at Yao Ming and begged for mercy. Originally, he planned to reseal Yao Ming, but he didn't expect that Yao Ming could actually invite such a powerful helper. Let you go? Hearing Yao Xiaoshan's words below, Yao Ming couldn't help but sneer, and endless hatred gathered in his heart. Who should I go to for revenge for the suffering I have suffered for so many years? This time, I will definitely cut you into pieces and throw you into the 10,000 snakes cave. Yao Ming's eyes were red, and anyone else would not calm down at this time. I really know I was wrong. I am willing to compensate you for the suffering you have endured over the years. Please, big brother, let me go. We are brothers. Yao Xiaoshan was like a dog wagging its tail to beg for mercy, and he put down all his dignity. Do you know that I am your big brother now? All the suffering I have endured over the past few hundred years is all because of you. Yao Ming's tone was grim. He came to the deep pit, slowly squatted down, and stroked Yao Xiaoshan's head with his palm. Suddenly, a moment of tenderness appeared on his face. Who dares to come to my 9 netherworld python clan to make trouble? At this moment, there were suddenly roars in the sky. Immediately, countless sounds of breaking wind were heard throughout the mountain range. Obviously, Xiao Yan's previous move had alarmed the strong men of the entire 9 netherworld python clan. The leader was an old man with a red poisonous snake coiled on his shoulder. That's Chief Xiaoshan. Who are you? Let Chief Xiaoshan go quickly. How dare you come to my tribe and injure our chief? None of you can escape today. The 9 netherworld python tribe is one of the 3 major tribes in the Warcraft world. Not only has someone sneaked in, but their chief has also been severely injured. This is something that no one can tolerate. Chapter 177. I can make you regain the light, or I can make you fall into the abyss again. Everyone, do you still recognize me? Just as the group of 9 Nether Earth Python clan warriors were about to attack, Yao Ming raised his head, and his aura spread all over his body at this moment. Looking at Yao Ming's face that was somewhat similar to Yao Tanxiao, all the 9 Nether Earth Python clan members present were stunned. After a long moment, some elders screamed in disbelief. Chief Yao Ming, how is this possible? Didn't you die because of cultivation? Chief Yao Ming, it seems to be the biological elder brother of Chief Tanxiao, the previous chief. But Chief Xiaoshan said that he died because of cultivation. He has disappeared for hundreds of years. How can he appear now? Hearing the many whispers that resounded through the sky, Yao Xiaoshan's face became paler. At this moment, he was injured by Xiao Yan and was seriously injured. If he tried to explain, he would probably be killed by the angry Yao Ming immediately. In the sky, the old man with the red venomous snake on his shoulder shouted coldly, "Be quiet, don't be fooled by this guy." Maybe this group of people deliberately pretended to be the former clan leader to cause unrest in our clan. Elders, why don't you activate the formation to kill him and save the clan leader Xiaoshan? Hearing this, the snake elders were also startled, and each of them hesitated. Elders Yuan, Elder Ming, Elder Liu, you were my closest people back then. Can't you even recognize me? Hearing Yao Ming's laughter, the 3 pale-haired elders swept their eyes over Yao Ming, and some excitement appeared on their faces. It's really the leader of the Yaming tribe. His aura is quite familiar to the 3 of us. Ming Chang, the 3 of you should not disturb the tribe here. The leader of the current 9 Nether Earth Python tribe is Yao Xiaoshan. Are you trying to betray the tribe by doing this? Hearing this, the old man with a red poisonous snake on his shoulder looked at the 3 snake elders with a gloomy look and shouted coldly, "Hee, elder, you and Yao Xiaoshan were very poisonous and joined forces to deal with me, and finally trapped me at the bottom of the underworld for hundreds of years. If it weren't for the help of this young friend, I would never have been able to get out. Now, do you want to kill people to silence them?" Yao Ming stood up, and his aura of a 2-star dashing strong man was fully released. Then he spit out a scepter from his mouth. The scepter was pitch black, with 2 poisonous snakes wrapped around the top, and between the 2 snakes, there was a fist-sized black bead. Elders, do you recognize this thing? 9 Netherworld Staff. It's the 9 Netherworld Staff that has been lost for hundreds of years. This is the Ancestors' token. Looking at the black staff, the faces of all the elders in the sky changed, and then there was a surge of enthusiasm in their eyes. According to legend, the snake bead of the 9 Netherworld Staff contains the purest 9 Netherworld royal bloodline. If you have this bloodline, it will undoubtedly greatly prolong the speed of blood thinning. Don't catch the rebel for me. Yao Ming directly commanded the elders. Now that they have the 9 Netherworld Staff, most of the elders stand on Yao Ming's side, and those confidants cultivated by Yao Ziotian, seeing Yao Ziotian being stepped on by Yao Ming and dying, dare not resist. Damn it, you fake, let me expose your true face. The elder was obviously unwilling. At this moment, he just wanted to kill Yao Ming. Once Yao Ming died, even if the matter was made public, no one would stand up for the dead. HMPH, you think too highly of yourself if you want to kill me. Yao Ming looked disdainful. Although he suffered a lot at the bottom of the Yellow Spring, his cultivation did not decline but improved. Now he is already a 2-star Sheng, with overwhelming strength. Goof watched quietly. This kind of thing is an internal matter of the 9 Nether Earth Python clan. Outsiders intervening will cause resentment. Fortunately, Ziyan's previous attack was not seen by anyone. They all thought that it was Yao Ming who seriously injured Yao Ziotian. Soon, Yao Ming and the elder of the 9 Nether Earth Python clan fought in a group, roaring continuously. Everyone, that person is really a fake. Why don't you take action quickly to take him down? Yao Ziotian looked at the battlefield over there with a cold look. He knew that Yao Ming would never let him go. Only by killing Yao Ming could he survive. And now, the elder is not Yao Ming's opponent. He was repeatedly injured. Once the elder is defeated, he will never have a chance to turn over. Looking for death. Hearing this, Yao Ming's eyes turned cold in the battle, and he immediately gave up the great elder and rushed to Yao Ziotian. This time, his palm was like the sharpest blade, and he stabbed it into Yao Ziotian's head without hesitation. Blood and brain matter all burst out at this moment. Bang! Yao Ming's palm stabbed into Yao Tangxiao's head, and his face was expressionless. Then he slowly withdrew his palm. In his palm, there was a fist-sized black crown bead. The bead was extremely smooth, and in the distance, the black mist flowed in it, gathering into a screaming face, which was Yao Ziotian. Seeing this, the great elder who had been severely injured by Yao Ming fled directly. Seal off the Ming's ground veins, and find the traitor. Yao Ming did not rush to chase, but quickly took over the power of the clan leader to stabilize the situation. This time, I really want to thank you, little friend Goof. If it weren't for you, I would still be suffering at the bottom of the Yellow Spring. After dealing with some things, Yao Ming came to Goof to thank him. Haha, this is also related to your own efforts. If you hadn't made a breakthrough in your cultivation, how could you regain the position of the clan leader today? Goof chuckled and said with approval. Yao Ming's character and talent are satisfactory. If he is cultivated, he will definitely be able to play a role in the future. By the way, this time I came to the 9 Nether Yellow Spring to find the Yellow Spring blood crystal. You have been there for many years, so you should have that thing. Goof directly stated his purpose. Yellow Spring blood crystal. This thing takes nearly 1,000 years to condense a piece. In these hundreds of years, I have swallowed a lot of it. Hearing this, Yao Ming almost did not hesitate. He suddenly opened his mouth and a blood-colored light flashed out, and finally floated in front of Goof. That thing was a blood-colored crystal block about the size of a fist. In that crystal block, it seemed as if there was endless blood flowing, which looked extremely strange. Is this the Yellow Spring blood crystal? Looking at this piece of blood crystal with a hint of weirdness, Goof also murmured in a low voice. He reached out to take the blood-colored crystal floating in front of him. As soon as the crystal was in his hand, a terrifying cold power spread along his palm. This thing contains a strong cold power that can restrain fire. It will be a great help to Goof in swallowing stronger strange fire later. There is another thing. I heard that your 9 Nether Earth Python clan has a stone tablet left by the Yellow Spring Demon Saint. Can you take me to see it? After accepting the Yellow Spring Blood Crystal, Gu Fei continued to talk about his second purpose of coming here, Yellow Spring Stone Tablet. Hearing this, Yao Ming frowned. This thing is the biggest secret of their 9 Nether Earth Python clan. The things inside are of vital importance to their clan. My clan does have this thing. Little friend Gu Fei, please follow me. Yao Ming hesitated for a moment, and after glancing at Xiao Yan standing next to Gu Fei, he nodded and agreed. Because he understood that Gu Fei had the ability to bring him back to light from the bottom of the underworld, and also had the ability to make him fall into the abyss again. Chapter 178 Heartbroken Demon Saint. Boy, let's see how much you weigh. Haha, brother Gu Fei, you seem to know a lot about our 9 Netherworld Python clan. On the way, Yao Ming couldn't help but ask Gu Fei out of curiosity. I know a little bit. As far as I know, there are 3 kinds of fighting skills engraved on the Heartbroken Stone Tablet of your clan, Heartbroken Finger and Heartbroken Palm. The former is a low-level fighting skill of the heavenly rank, while the latter is a mid-level heavenly rank. With extraordinary power, Gu Fei didn't have anything to hide. After all, he took the initiative to expose his purpose. As for the last one, it is a soul attack fighting skill, which is the famous skill of the Heartbroken Great Sage, Heartbroken Sky Wrath. Gu Fei continued. Brother Gu Fei seems to have an extraordinary background. These are all secrets of our clan. Not many people in the world know these. Hearing this, Yao Ming was shocked and didn't forget to compliment Gu Fei. Although Gu Fei's cultivation is only a half-sage, he can make Xiao Yan, the little witch, listen to him so much, which makes Yao Ming pay attention to him. Brother Gu Fei, to be honest, deep inside the Yellow Springs steel, in addition to the fighting skills left by the Yellow Springs Demon Saint, there is actually a portion of the Yellow Springs Demon Saint's blood essence. Yao Ming continued to add, he knew that Gu Fei would go to the Yellow Springs steel, regardless of whether Gu Fei could succeed or not. This move of his was a retreat to advance. If Gu Fei could not take out the 2 treasures inside, then he could also do Gu Fei a favor by telling him in advance this time. If Gu Fei was strong and could really take out the treasures inside, it would naturally be better. At least, with Gu Fei's way of dealing with things, he would give him some of that opportunity. Oh, there are such treasures. Gu Fei glanced at the sensible Yao Ming and replied in surprise. It seems that this is the ultimate purpose of brother Gu Fei's trip. Listening to the conversation between Gu Fei and Yao Ming, Xiao Yan felt a little excited. She naturally knew how powerful the blood essence left by a strong man who was once close to the emperor would be. After chatting all the way, not long after, Gu Fei, Xiao Yan, and Xun'er followed Yao Ming and landed on an ancient altar. This altar was extremely magnificent, built entirely of green boulders. Standing on the top of the altar, you can overlook some of the surrounding mountains. Gu Fei and his group slowly landed on the top of the altar. In the center of the altar, a huge pale yellow stone tablet about 100 feet long stood there lonely, with an ancient atmosphere spreading out, as if it had existed forever. Is this the legendary Heartbroken steel? Gu Fei looked up at the huge stone tablet. On the stone tablet, there was a huge finger and a palm print carved. I think this should be the so-called Heartbroken finger and Heartbroken palm training method. Brother Gu Fei, this is the Heartbroken steel of my 9 Nether Earth Python clan, and the Heartbroken Sky Wrath and the Demon Saint Essence blood are hidden in it. But as for whether it can be obtained, it depends on you, brother Gu Fei, Yao Ming said very solemnly. Since its inception, no one has been able to crack the Yellow Spring steel, so it is naturally difficult to crack. Gu Fei nodded silently, looking at the steel with a serious look. On it, he felt an extremely strong soul pressure, as expected of the Yellow Spring Demon Saint. Gu Fei's eyes were solemn, and then he moved and appeared on a stone pier in front of the steel, slowly sitting cross-legged. Xiao Yan, don't let anyone disturb me during this period. Don't worry, brother Gu Fei, I won't let anyone disturb you. Gu Fei gave a warning, and his body trembled slightly, and then a somewhat illusory figure stepped out from his brows. Brother Gu Fei dared to try to collect the treasures in the Yellow Spring steel. He really has some strength. Looking at Gu Fei's soul actually condensed into a human figure identical to his body, the demon also secretly praised. The soul power of most strong people can only be said to be normal. It is simply impossible to condense a soul from nothingness into a physical form like Gu Fei. Under the gaze of Yao Ming, Xi Yan, and Xun'er, Gu Fei's soul stepped forward and directly hit the stone tablet. Swish! In an instant, the surface of the ancient stone tablet began to fluctuate like liquid, and Gu Fei's soul disappeared strangely in front of the stone tablet as if it was swallowed. Boom boom. In the space of the stone tablet, above the sky with an ancient atmosphere, thunder roared like an angry dragon, and the loud noise shook the world violently. The Yellow Spring Demon Saint is indeed extraordinary. Gu Fei was suspended in the air, looking at this strange space, with a touch of surprise in his eyes. Boom. As Gu Fei went deeper into this place, this space of heaven and earth formed a fingerprint and a huge palm print that attacked him. However, these methods were easily resolved by Gu Fei. Yellow Spring Demon Saint, show yourself. These methods are not enough to defeat me. When the giant yellow palm exploded, Gu Fei raised his head and looked into the distance. The faint voice, like thunder, spread throughout the space. Boom. As Gu Fei finished speaking, a mountain suddenly broke through the ground and rose from the ground. On the top of the mountain, there was a huge throne. On the throne, a figure in a yellow fur robe sat upright. An aura that made even the heaven and earth tremble slowly spread. Yes, a soul of the great perfection of the heavenly realm. A faint voice with praise, containing a kind of pressure from the soul, slowly came into Gu Fei's ears. This junior's trip is for the cultivation method of Yellow Spring Sky Wrath and the blood of the Demon Saint. Gu Fei did not waste time and directly stated his intention. He knew that the residual soul of the Yellow Spring Demon Saint had his own mission. When the mission was completed, he would hand over everything. Although you are very good, if you want Huangquan Danfu and blood essence, you need to defeat me first. Huangquan Demon Saint said slowly, then I will not be polite. After saying that, Gu Fei stepped forward fiercely, and his body suddenly expanded hundreds of feet at this moment, like a giant standing between heaven and earth. The giant looked down at Huangquan Demon Saint from a high position, clenched his huge palm, and fiercely slammed at the latter. Okay, then let me see how much weight you, a junior, have. Huangquan Demon Saint suddenly raised his head and shouted angrily. Countless huge palms broke out of the ground, like a rainstorm, fiercely slamming on the body of the soul giant that Gu Fei had transformed into. Destroy. The fierce offensive caused Gu Fei's soul body to emit violent fluctuations. At that moment, even he did not dare to neglect it, and quickly wrapped the soul power with strange fire. Yes, your soul actually contains the power of strange fire. Huangquan Demon Saint once again uttered a sound of praise, but soon, his expression changed slightly, and his hands formed a strange hand seal like lightning, and then put the hand seal to his mouth. Suddenly, an extremely terrifying wave rippled up, and under this wave, this space was instantly broken apart, and it looked like the end of the world. Huangquan Sky Wrath, sensing the wave that even he felt a little frightened, Gu Fei's expression became extremely solemn. Huangquan Sky Wrath, which can make many Daoshin change color at the mention of it, is not a false rumor. Chapter 179 The Wrath of the Underworld and the Blood of the Demon Saint. There was a commotion between heaven and earth. Strange ripples suddenly appeared around the remnant soul of Huangquan Demon Saint. These ripples merged into a huge invisible figure that was 1,000 feet long. As expected of Huangquan Demon Saint, Gu Fei's face was extremely solemn. The next moment, the invisible Demon Saint's true body transformed by the sound wave slowly lowered its head, and its indifferent eyes locked on Gu Fei in the distance. Its mouth slowly opened, and a syllable with an ancient breath, like a thunder dragon that shuttled out from layers of thunderclouds, suddenly showed its majestic appearance. Mu. As soon as the word came out, the space collapsed inch by inch under the spread of the sound wave, and a nearly destructive sound wave impact rushed in at a speed faster than light. At this terrifying speed, Gu Fei basically had no time to form any defense. Bang bang bang, the destructive sound wave instantly descended on the huge soul giant body of Gu Fei. The latter's huge body, which was several hundred feet long, shrank and became illusory at a speed visible to the naked eye. It was a complete destruction. It seemed that everything would be turned into nothingness under the impact of the sound wave. On the top of the mountain, Huangquan Demon Saint also sat back on the throne, and his already illusory body became much more transparent. Obviously, the previous attack consumed too much of his strength. It is worthy of being the skill that Huang Kun Demon Saint became famous for. It has such power with only a remnant soul. I admire it. Under such a fierce attack, Gu Fei did not annihilate, and walked out bathed in flames. In all these years, you are the first person who can withstand Huang Kun's wrath. The remnant soul of Huang Kun Demon Saint looked at Gu Fei, with a relieved smile on his face, and his body slowly leaned against the throne. At this moment, Huang Kun Demon Saint said with a somewhat disappointed tone, I have waited for countless years, and this day has finally come. As soon as he finished speaking, he flicked his fingers, and a soul wave flashed out, and finally floated in front of Gu Fei. Gu Fei grabbed the wave in his hand, and suddenly, a stream of information quickly poured into his mind. It was the cultivation method of Huang Kun Sky Wrath, and the other two fighting skills Huang Kun Finger and Palm. Thank you for the gift, Senior Huang Kun. Suppressing the joy in his heart, Gu Fei hurriedly bowed to Huang Kun Demon Saint and said, My mission is to wait for someone to defeat me and pass on what I have learned. Your soul power has reached the conditions for practicing Huang Kun Sky Wrath. Huang Kun Demon Saint smiled slightly. Then, he slowly spread his palm. His illusory body suddenly appeared with a thin stream of light golden light, and in the blink of an eye, it turned into a ball of golden liquid. I have cultivated for thousands of years, and my soul has even entered the legendary Emperor realm, but I still cannot take the last step. The voice of Huang Kun Demon Saint was filled with endless melancholy and unwillingness. Senior, you have made great contributions, but you have encountered a sudden change. In this world, it is already difficult to obtain the necessary things to be promoted to Emperor. Unfortunately, you also know about these. Hearing Gu Fei's words, Huang Kun Demon Saint was a little surprised. For such a thing, even someone like him who is close to Emperor can only vaguely guess a little, and cannot be sure. I know a little. Without that necessary thing, it is difficult to break through to the Emperor realm no matter what. Just like 1,000 years ago, the patriarch of the Zhao clan sacrificed his bloodline with the power of the entire clan, but he still stopped at the half-emperor realm. Gu Fei said slowly, an ancient great clan could not succeed with the power of the entire clan. Hearing these words, Huang Kun Demon Saint felt a little relieved and could only sigh that fate was like this. Young man, it is fate that you can come here, and it is ability that you can bear the wrath of Huang Kun. Huang Kun's unique skills are not given to mediocre people. You are not a mediocre person. The golden blood was thrown out by Huang Kun Demon Saint and slowly fell into Gu Fei's palm. Thank you, Senior Huang Kun. Gu Fei bowed his hands to express his gratitude. At this time, the body of Huang Kun Demon Saint sitting on the throne was becoming more and more illusory. I hope that my unique skills will not lose their brilliance and reputation with my death. Goodbye, Senior. This remnant soul has been able to exist for so many years, probably relying on the blood of the Demon Saint. Now that the blood has left the body, the remnant soul has finally run out of energy and dissipated between heaven and earth. Alas, Gu Fei also sighed. The illusory body slowly disappeared in this space. My husband has been gone for a while. I hope he won't be in any danger. On the altar, Xun'er looked at Gu Fei's body sitting motionless on the stone pier, and frowned slightly, because according to Yao Ming, most people who enter this Huang Kun stone tablet will come out in less than half an hour. Don't worry, Sister Xun'er. Brother Gu Fei will never do anything he is not sure of. Xiao Yan was very confident in Gu Fei. Suddenly, the stone tablet suddenly burst out with a strong light, and a soul figure also quickly flew out of it, and finally, under Xun'er's surprised eyes, it swept into the body of the figure sitting cross-legged on the stone pier. Husband, are you okay? Xun'er asked with concern. Nothing, Gu Fei smiled and shook his head. Bang! At this moment, a muffled sound suddenly came from the stone tablet. Soon everyone saw that above the original one finger and one palm print, a mouth shape slowly appeared, and a strange wave emanated from the mouth. Heavenly wrath of the underworld. Looking at that mouth shape, Yao Ming was startled at first, and then his face showed ecstasy. He hurriedly let his soul power spread out, but before he could receive the information in it, a powerful soul impact hit his soul fiercely. Puff. This fierce impact directly caused Yao Ming to spurt out a mouthful of blood. Soul power is not at the heavenly level, and it is impossible to touch this kind of soul attack fighting skills. Seeing Yao Ming's embarrassment, Gu Fei did not laugh at him. He stretched out his hand and a small drop of golden blood appeared in his palm. This is a part of the demon saint's blood. As the patriarch who guards this stone tablet, you deserve it. Haha, with this drop of demon saint's blood, I am sure I can impact the 3-starred Sheng within 3 years. Yao Ming happily put away the demon saint's blood and said happily. Next, Gu Fei told Yao Ming that Xun'er was going to practice in the 9 nether underworld. Chief Yao Ming, during this period of time, we will stay in the 9 nether earth python clan, and perhaps we need to borrow the 9 nether yellow spring from your clan. Then, Gu Fei glanced at Xun'er, obviously wanting to use the power of the 9 nether yellow spring to complete the body tempering step for Xun'er. Haha, it's a small matter, but the energy of the 9 nether yellow spring is extremely cold. Brother Gu Fei, you have to be more careful. Yao Ming smiled and immediately reminded. Chapter 180 Xun'er, could these people be here to propose marriage again? Xun'er, the cold and gloomy power contained in the 9 netherworld springs is enough to kill ordinary people, but the 7-colored sky-swallowing python is already very cold and gloomy. You should be able to absorb its energy without restraint this time. Beside the 9 netherworld springs, Gu Fei looked at the 9 netherworld springs filled with cold air, tilted his head and smiled at Xun'er. This cold and gloomy power is really nothing to me. Xun'er smiled faintly, and her words seemed quite proud. As the only 7-colored sky-swallowing python in the world today, she has the qualifications to look down on all snake-like monsters. While absorbing the cold and gloomy power, supplemented with elixirs, cultivation will be faster. Next, Gu Fei handed a few jade bottles to Xun'er. Xun'er stretched out her jade hand and took the jade bottle with a warm and cool air. Husband, you are so good. Xun'er suddenly raised her narrow eyes with a charming breath, and gently kissed her red lips. Feeling the sudden softness, Gu Fei's arm reflexively embraced Xun'er's soft and slender waist. I'm still here, you two don't treat me as an outsider. Seeing Gu Fei and Xun'er showing off their affection in front of her, Yan rolled her eyes and stamped her feet to express her dissatisfaction. Husband, then I'll go in and practice. Xun'er smiled slightly, not feeling embarrassed at all. She shook her body and turned into the huge and unusual 7-colored swallowing sky python and entered the yellow spring, Gulilu. After Xun'er entered the 9 nether yellow spring, the lake water immediately seemed to boil, and countless bubbles emerged. Gu Fei could clearly feel that it seemed that the energy in the entire 9 nether yellow spring was alarmed at this moment. Yan, this is for you. Gu Fei took out half of the remaining yellow spring demon saint's blood essence and handed it to Yan. Brother Gu Fei, you are so nice. I like you so much. Seeing this golden blood, Yan smiled brightly. With her current strength, if she absorbs all the energy of the demon saint's blood essence, she may have a chance to climb to the late stage of the 4-starred Sheng. At that time, the chances of winning against the 3 Dragon Kings will be more than doubled. Okay, take it and refine it quickly. Gu Fei waved his hand. Okay. Yan nodded, then set up a seal around it, and then sat down with peace of mind. Gu Fei also calmed down. This time he came to the 9 netherworld python clan. The harvest was not bad. The 3 Huangkun skills, such as Huangkun Finger, Huangkun Palm, and Huangkun Sky Wrath, have all been injected into his soul by the remnant soul of the demon saint. Among them, there are all kinds of insights of the demon saint on the 3 fighting skills. This kind of gift is far from comparable to those obtained from practicing on the stone tablet. Next, Gu Fei took out the remaining Huangkun demon saint's blood essence and swallowed it. Boom. The golden blood was like a body, and the robot on Gu Fei's body instantly burst into powder. A terrible energy wave spread out from his body, shaking the nearby rocks and causing cracks. After the drop of blood entered his body, it ran around madly in his body. The destruction was caused by a trace of energy overflow. The energy in the blood was so violent that it was beyond Gu Fei's expectations. This violent energy was enough to instantly shock a strong man with the strength of a 5-starred sun to death. Fortunately, Gu Fei has already far surpassed that level. In addition, Gu Fei's current physical strength is not inferior to that of a 9th-level magic beast. Although the changes in his body caught him off guard, he soon stabilized his mind. After a while, The violent energy like a wild horse began to return to his control one by one. Then, under Gu Fei's use of the strange fire, it slowly softened, and finally, it was integrated into every part of Gu Fei's body. Time was also passing by every second. Soon, a year passed. Ancient world. Today, the ancient world, in its silence, became somewhat lively again. Following the visit of the Yan clan and the Lei clan delegations, the Yao clan, which had not had any contact with the ancient clan for more than 10 years, also sent a delegation to visit. At this moment, the hall that entertained the Yao clan delegation was filled with the aroma of medicine from time to time. Elder Nanhai, it's been a long time since we last met. You are still as energetic as you were back then. Elder Wangai, you are the same. Your heroic spirit is still as good as before. At the banquet, Gu Nanhai and an old man wearing a pharmacist's robe flattered each other. The old man, known as Elder Wangai, was an elder of the Yao clan with a very senior qualification. He was in charge of the punishment of the Yao clan, and he was in a high position and had the power to decide the life and death of the clan members with a single word. Moreover, Yao Wangai's cultivation was also good, and he was now a 4-star sheikh. Next to Yao Wangai, there was a man and a woman sitting. The man was wearing a gorgeous brocade robe, with a handsome face and even a hint of femininity. His lips were a little thin, revealing a bit of coldness and meanness. The woman had long blue hair and delicate cheeks, but she was as cold as ice, giving off a feeling of an iceberg beauty. The young man was named Yao Tian, the most outstanding person among the younger generation of the Yao clan. At a young age, his soul power had reached the early stage of the heaven realm. It was no problem for him to refine some high-level elixir of the 8th grade with 7-color pill thunder, and his cultivation was comparable to that of Gu Qingyang and Gu Yao among the younger generation of the ancient clan, who had reached the level of a 7-star Xun. The young woman was his sister, Yao Ling. Although her cultivation was not improving quickly, her soul was different. She was called the person in the Yao clan who was most likely to cultivate to the Emperor Realm soul. The Yao clan delegation is visiting. At this moment, on a mountain peak in the ancient realm, Xun'er, who had just come out of retreat, also learned about the Yao clan's visit from the people around her. The Yao clan was in the name of refining medicine. This is something that everyone knows. After a moment of thinking, Xun'er suddenly thought of Gu Fei, because Gu Fei, more than a year ago, successfully refined a 9th grade precious pill. That kind of medicine refining attainment should be surpassed by no one in the young generation of the world. In addition to the previous 2 visits by the Yan clan and the Lei clan, Xun'er frowned immediately. These people from the medicine clan, are they coming to propose marriage again? To be honest, Xun'er is now particularly annoyed by this kind of thing. Every time, she will be nervous because of it, because these things are always related to her and Gu Fei. Did the people from the medicine clan explain why they came this time? Xun'er asked a girl next to her. I don't know about this either. It seems that there are 2 young people, 1 man and 1 woman, the girl said vaguely. The man is quite handsome and has good cultivation. It is said that he is comparable to brother King Yang, but his eyes are a bit mean, another Gu clan woman added. What about the woman? Xun'er didn't care what the man looked like. Even Lei Dong couldn't change her mind at all, let alone Yao Jian. Chapter 181 Xun'er, are you qualified to question Brother Gu Fei, that woman from the medicine clan? I heard that she always has a cold face and looks like she doesn't want anyone to get close to her. Yeah, she doesn't look that good, but she has to pretend to be an iceberg beauty. Her cultivation progress is not that good either. She's much worse than Xun'er. These girls from the ancient clan naturally knew what Xun'er was thinking at the moment, so they all belittled the woman from the medicine clan in their words. Is that so? Although Xun'er heard the compliments in the words of several people, she was still happy in her heart. I'll go over and take a look. However, Xun'er was still a little curious. The exchanges between the several ancient races were not very close, and the sudden visit of the medicine clan delegation this time must have some purpose. Haha, I heard that Gu Fei, the grandson of the Black Annihilation King, once refined a 9th grade precious pill. I wonder which talent in the hall is it? In the main hall, Yao Wangai was chatting with the elders of the ancient clan, and his eyes swept over several young and powerful people from the ancient clan in the main hall, and then asked, "Gu Fei has not come here. He has been in seclusion for a year." Gu Nanhai shook his head and said, "Oh, he practices so hard. He is worthy of being the world's #1 prodigy." Yao Wangai seemed a little disappointed when he learned that Gu Fei did not come here for seclusion. When he said that Gu Fei was the world's #1 prodigy, Yao Tian, who was next to him, had a cold look in his eyes. As a fellow prodigy, he naturally did not want to admit that he was worse than others. Moreover, many of Gu Fei's deeds were just rumors. He had not seen Gu Fei make a 9th grade precious pill with his own eyes. The people of the Yao clan have always been proud of their medicine refining and felt that no one could surpass them. Even the so-called alchemy meeting held by Zhongzhou Dan Tower was just a child's play in their eyes. Not worth mentioning. Gu Fei is so young, but he can achieve such results. I wonder which alchemy master did he learn from? Yao Wangai continued to ask. I've never heard of this. Gu Fei may be self-taught. There are countless ancient books in our ancient clan, and even the way of alchemy is profound. It's normal for Gu Fei to learn the way of alchemy by himself. Although the elders of the ancient clan were also a little confused, they didn't care, because many of them had seen Gu Fei making pills with their own eyes. Self-study. Reading the books can make a 9th grade precious pill. What a joke. If this is true, then the blood power of our medicine clan is just for show. Hearing the answers of the elders of the ancient clan, Yao Tian had a hint of sarcasm at the corner of his mouth, and then there was some anger. As a member of the medicine clan, he knew very well that if a person did not have a good teacher to guide him and pass on the experience of alchemy, he would never be able to comprehend the alchemy books and learn by himself to achieve such an achievement. To the Yao clan, the words of the Gu clan seemed to be a deliberate show-off in front of them, telling them that the power of the medicine emperor bloodline inherited by the Yao clan seemed to be useless. You are all joking. In my opinion, young friend Gu Fei must have had some kind of encounter, and met a hermit master who taught him the way of refining medicine. But that master is not convenient to reveal his identity. Yao Wangai also felt that the Gu clan's move was mocking the uselessness of their Yao clan bloodline, but as the Yao clan's punishment elder, his every word and action represented the Yao clan. Even so, it was impossible for him to say two intense words. Maybe so. The elders of the Gu clan did not discuss too much, nodded and continued to talk about other things. Junior Yao Tian, I heard that Gu Fei had successfully refined a 9th grade treasure pill. I wonder if there is a chance to ask Gu Fei for advice. At a certain moment, Yao Tian, who was sitting and drinking, finally couldn't hold back and made a request to several elders at the banquet. After sitting for so long, the people of the Yao clan finally told the purpose of their visit. Recently, among the major ancient races, it has been rumored that Gu Fei will be the strongest alchemist on the continent. Even the people of the medicine clan will be overshadowed by Gu Fei's glory. Therefore, the people of the medicine clan planned to come to the ancient clan to test the truth and see if Gu Fei is really as amazing as the rumors say. With you, you still want to ask brother Gu Fei for advice on alchemy. I advise you not to humiliate yourself. At this time, a cold voice came from the entrance of the hall. Everyone looked at the entrance of the hall, where a woman in green appeared. The person who spoke was Xun'er, who came here. She heard the doubts about Gu Fei and Yao Tian's words, so she made sarcastic remarks. In the hall, a group of elders of the ancient clan originally frowned because of Yao Tian's words, and now, each of them frowned even more. Although the medicine clan's move was slightly provocative, it was just asking for advice. It was not a big deal in terms of emotion and reason. It was just a competition among the younger generation. However, Xun'er's words were an undisguised humiliation to Yao Yan. This would cause the relationship between the two parties to become strained. You will know if you are humiliating yourself after trying. Yao Yan's eyes turned red and he shouted angrily, Brother Gu Fei doesn't have that much free time. He is in seclusion now. I don't allow anyone to disturb him before then. Xun'er didn't care about Yao Tian's red eyes at all and said to herself, Gu Fei is worried that he will be exposed by my Yao clan, so he avoids me. I think the so-called 9th grade master is completely false. Yao Tian, this is the ancient world. Your words and deeds represent my Yao clan. Don't go too far. Yao Tian's words became more and more intense. Fortunately, Yao Wangai stopped him in time with a voice transmission, which made him restrain himself. In that case, I will wait for him in the ancient world. He will come out of seclusion one day. Yao Tian calmed down and spoke coldly. Haha, everyone, our Yao clan has no intention of questioning. This time, just treat it as an exchange between their young people. It's okay, Yao Wangai added in time, trying to ease the atmosphere in the hall. Since Yao Tian is interested, stay a little longer. Although many elders of the ancient clan were unhappy with the Yao clan's move, if they refused at this time, they might make the other party feel guilty. Since you insist on humiliating yourself, don't regret it when the time comes. Xun'er glanced at Yao Yan coldly, and then left directly. 9 Nether Yellow Spring. Gu Fei, one of the parties involved in the incident, was unaware of what happened in the ancient clan hall. At this time, he was sitting cross-legged beside the yellow spring, and time seemed to have stopped. The energy of the surrounding heaven and earth continuously gathered towards him. Why is it so slow? Not far from Gu Fei, Yan held her chin with her hand in a daze. She had digested the blood of the demon saint early and had already climbed to the late 4-star level. Chapter 182, Promoted to Sheng. The ancient clan's coming-of-age ceremony is approaching. Next to Huangquan, the energy of heaven and earth roared. Although Yan felt bored, she never left when Gu Fei was practicing. During this period, Queen Medusa also came up from the lake twice. After seeing Gu Fei still practicing, she continued to go deeper into Huangquan. In this way, another year passed. For a year, Gu Fei has been sitting there, without any movement. It seems that everything in the outside world has nothing to do with him. Around him, the terrifying and pure energy ripples like clouds in mist. Grab it and it is as sticky as water. One day, the energy of heaven and earth around him began to violently riot, affecting the area within a radius of 100 miles. Even many strong people in the 9 Netherworld Python clan sensed the abnormality. The energy between heaven and earth seemed to be pulled at this moment. It surged over the sky. Finally, above Gu Fei's head, it gathered into a huge energy storm. The end of the storm just connected to Gu Fei's crown. Gu Fei's tightly closed eyes suddenly opened, and then he opened his mouth and sucked hard. Boom! As he inhaled, the huge energy storm, which was hundreds of feet long, surged down, along his throat, and drilled into Gu Fei's body. Finally succeeded. Seeing the movement, Yan quickly stood up and looked at Gu Fei's position. Gu Fei's body finally started to move for the first time after 2 years of sitting. He stretched his waist. Snap, snap, a sound of loosening joints was heard. I didn't expect that this retreat would take 2 years, Gu Fei sighed to himself. Calculating the time, he spent more than 5 years from the peak of Zun, to the 9-turn saint, and then to the real 1-starred Sheng. Although this time sounds long, it will make countless people jealous. There are many strong people who cannot step into the semi-saint in their entire lives, and are always stuck at the peak of Zun and never make any progress. There are also many people who have cultivated to the semi-saint, stayed for decades, and even cannot break through on the day of death. Brother Gu Fei, you are finally well. I have been bored to death during this period. Yan rushed over happily, perhaps because they were the only two of them at the moment. Yan was a little bolder and directly opened her arms to hug Gu Fei. With the warm and soft jade in his arms, Gu Fei's heartbeat accelerated unconsciously at this moment. This girl has matured a lot after growing up, and she is indeed attractive. Puff. At this moment, a splash of water appeared in the 9 Netherworld, and Kair flew out of it. Seeing this, Yan, who was originally looking forward to looking at Gu Fei, quickly got off Gu Fei. Her little face was flushed. Husband, congratulations on your breakthrough to Sheng. Kair came over with a smile to congratulate. She actually saw the scene of Yan falling on Gu Fei, but seeing Yan's embarrassed look, she did not point it out. Yan's feelings for Gu Fei, she has always been clear, and even expected that the two of them could reach that step. Kair, you've made good progress, and you've reached the 8-starred Zun, Gu Fei said with a smile, and then stretched out his hand and embraced Kair in his arms. Seeing this scene, Yan did not complain about their love affair like she did last time, but was glad that Kair did not see her actions just now. During this period, Dao Yixian's sister and the children must have missed you very much. After a moment of tenderness, Kai's soft voice was in Guf's ears. This retreat is a bit long. Hearing this, Guf nodded. He retreated for so long this time, and the two children should have grown a lot taller. Calculating the time, my Gu clan's coming-of-age ceremony is about to begin. After saying this, Guf looked at Xian, who was bowing her head aside. Xian, are you sure you want to go back to Dragon Island now, and don't plan to accompany me to attend the coming-of-age ceremony in the clan? The coming-of-age ceremony is so soon. Hearing Guf's words, Xian couldn't help but be stunned. Having stayed in the ancient clan for so long, she also knew a lot about the ancient clan. The coming-of-age ceremony, which takes place every 20 years, is a major event for the ancient clan. Those who are qualified to participate in the coming-of-age ceremony are all outstanding young people in the ancient clan. Originally, Xian calculated that it would take nearly 3 years before the coming-of-age ceremony of the ancient clan, and she would be able to arrive smoothly after returning to ancient Dragon Island. But now, because Guf was in seclusion once, she had been guarding for 2 years. If she returned to ancient Dragon Island at this time, she would definitely not be able to accompany Guf to witness the coming-of-age ceremony. Okay, then I will return to ancient Dragon Island later to witness your coming-of-age ceremony. Xian nodded. In these two matters, she chose Guf almost without hesitation. Haha. I didn't love you in vain. Guf laughed when he heard Xian's answer. In fact, the reason why he kept delaying Xian's return to Dragon Island to reorganize the Dragon Clan was that he was still worried about Xian's safety. Even with her late-stage forced hard-shank cultivation, it would be difficult for her to handle the rebellion in the Dragon Clan intact, and the clan would suffer heavy losses because of the war. If one day, after Xian returns to Dragon Island, she can absolutely crush the 3 Dragon Kings and make the dragons of the 3 Dragon Islands no longer kill each other, that would be the best result. Next, Guf took Xian and Xun'er back to the ancient world. Before leaving, Xun'er looked at the 9 Nether Yellow Spring. From the beginning when she entered the 9 Nether Yellow Spring, she felt a faint call. After practicing for this period of time, she was finally able to determine that the call was emitted from the end of the Yellow Spring. The end was not the place where Yao Ming was sealed, but in a deeper place. But she was not in a hurry. After attending Guf's coming-of-age ceremony, she could continue to come here to explore clearly, and she hadn't been back for so long, and she missed the little guy Washuang. Shangdan City, Dan Tower. After a few years, Feng Zunzun, Yao Chen's soul, Yan and others came here again. The ancient clan's coming-of-age ceremony will send invitations to some forces on the mainland and invite them to watch the ceremony. However, not all forces can be invited. At least, the Xin'an pavilion is not qualified. Therefore, Yao Lao came to Danta for help. At that time, he followed the people of Danta into the ancient world. Old man, have you really thought about it? Zhuan Kongcai took out a jade note and asked Yao Chen very seriously. Well, this time, the ancient clan held an adult ceremony, and outsiders finally had the opportunity to enter the ancient world. Yao Lao nodded. Now only the people of the ancient clan can revive me. If I miss this time, I may be a lonely ghost for the rest of my life. Well, this time, you will continue to stay in Yan's ring, and I will take Feng Yuan and Yan into the ancient world together. Zhuan Kongcai also nodded heavily. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 183. Yan finally arrived at the ancient world. I wonder how Xun'er is doing? Ancient world. On the mountain where Guf was, King Lin took Zioxian and Washuang to practice outside the bamboo building. Just at this time, Zioxian also walked out of the bamboo building slowly. Seeing Zioxian, King Lin asked with some concern, Sister Zioxian, Brother Guf and his friends have been out for a long time this time. Will they miss the coming-of-age ceremony? My husband should be back. Zioxian's tone was not very sure. In the past 2 years, She has been missing Gu Fei and thinking about it, but fortunately, there is nothing wrong with the soul life card left by Gu Fei. At least Gu Fei did not encounter any danger. Sister Xiao, Brother Gu Fei's coming-of-age ceremony is so important. Of course we will come back. At this time, a clear and pleasant voice sounded above Xiao and King Lin, and then Yan, Gu Fei, and Kair suddenly appeared on the mountain. Husband. Xiao was very happy to see the familiar figure appearing in her sight. The next moment, Gu Fei came directly to Xiao and took her into his arms. Daddy is back. Xian and Shuang, the two little guys, also gathered around Gu Fei's trouser legs, very happy. Daddy is not here. Have you two been naughty? Gu Fei hooked Xian's nose and asked with a smile. Of course we are good. We practice with mother and sister King Lin every day. Daddy, the Lion King often takes us to play in various places in the ancient world. Sister King Lin also gives us a lot of delicious food. The answers of the two little guys have different focuses, which can be regarded as contradicting each other, but it is normal. Such a young child does not need them to think too much. Gu Fei only hopes that they can have a happy childhood. Sister Zone, how is your return to the Dragon Clan this time? Did you encounter any trouble? On the other side, King Lin came to Zhen and asked her about her outing this time. I haven't been back to Dragon Island yet. Brother Gu Fei went into seclusion for 2 years. I stayed by his side every day, and I was so bored. Hearing King Lin's question, Yan stuck out her tongue and couldn't help complaining again. Yan, after the coming-of-age ceremony, your husband will accompany you to Dragon Island. Kair patted Yan's shoulder and smiled. Besides, I think you are very happy to be able to stay with your brother Gu Fei alone this time. Ah, looking at Kair's eyes, Yan felt a little guilty. Could it be that Sister Kair saw me hugging brother Gu Fei and just didn't say anything on purpose? I'm a little hungry. Let's go find something to eat first. Leaving this sentence, the space around Yan was agitated, and she disappeared instantly. Sister Yan went to find something to eat, and a certain medicinal garden of the ancient clan is going to be in trouble again. A few days after Gu Fei came back, the ancient realm gradually became lively. Not only the ancient realm, but now, the entire eastern region has become very lively. Many powerful forces on the continent were invited by the ancient clan and sent representatives to the ancient world for the ceremony. As the entrance to the ancient world, the ancient saint city now gathered countless people. On this day, the ancient clan opened the passage to the ancient world and planned to take all the foreign guests who came to participate in the ancient clan's coming-of-age ceremony into the ancient world. Yan and Feng Zun's, because they followed the people of Danta, were also qualified to enter. It's worthy of the ancient world. In the crowd, Yan looked at the black space door in the air of the lake that led to the unknown depths and couldn't help but sigh. When he came into contact with such a big clan, he once again felt his insignificance. The last time was when he entered Zhongzhou and saw the talents of the young people in Xun'er Pavilion. Later, he worked hard to practice, and with the help of Yao Lao's resources, his cultivation barely broke through to the 2-starred Zong, catching up with the first echelon of the younger generation in Xun'er Pavilion. But when he came to the territory of the ancient clan, he saw many young people of the ancient clan who reached the high-level Zong before the age of 30, and even many of them reached Zun. The confidence that had just risen was gone. It seemed that the Zun strongman that outsiders pursued was very common in this big clan. Xun'er also came from such a big clan. I wonder what level she has reached now. Yan suddenly thought of a figure in his mind. Let's go. Feng Zun pulled Yan, and Yan came back to his senses. This time, when Yan entered the ancient world, he was not as difficult as in the original book by some young people of the ancient clan, because no one remembered him at all, and they didn't know him at all. Next, Yan and everyone else boarded the huge shuttle boat, and once again sighed at the strength of the ancient clan. Gu Fei, after we parted, I practiced harder and now I have reached the peak of Zun. But I didn't expect that you have already been promoted to a half-saint. I really don't know how there is a monster like you in the world. At the same time, on another shuttle boat, a woman in red with a veil was staring into the depths of the ancient world. Around the woman, there were several young men, all of them were from the Yan clan, and there was an obvious flame mark on their foreheads. The veiled, graceful woman in red was Huo Zi, who had come to the Gu clan to propose marriage in the early years. Now, not only did she progress rapidly in her cultivation, but she also refined the Red Lotus Karma fire, which ranked 8th on the different fire list. Huo Zi, you are so serious, you are not thinking about Gu Fei again, are you? Next to Huo Zi, a young man looked at Huo Zi with deep meaning and teased. Heroes are hard to resist beautiful women, and so are beautiful women. Huo Zi so arrogant, our Yan clan has no hope. Maybe this time, Huo Zi will ask Gu Fei of the Gu clan to marry her again. Someone next to him echoed. Huo Yuan, you guys, are you itching for sex? Huo Zi was a little angry when he heard these words. After all, it is not a glorious thing for a woman to take the initiative to propose to a man and be rejected. No, it's just a joke, don't be angry. Seeing Huo Zi was angry, the Yan clan youth called Huo Yuan waved his hands repeatedly. P.S. Answering some questions and complaints from some book friends, many people say that I suppress the level, but I really don't. It's too unfair. The protagonist started as a high-leveled Zong, only 16 years old, which is really not low. Also, it took the protagonist more than 5 years to go from the peak of Zun to Sheng. Although this efficiency is not as fast as the more than 2 years of Brother Lucky in the original book, it is because Brother Lucky got the opportunity to reincarnate for 100 years under the body tree in the ancient domain of Mengwang, plus the precious treasure of body heart. In short, I think that the protagonist I wrote did not suppress the level or anything like that. Chapter 184 is humble as a minion. They are indeed the prodigies of the ancient races. Even if they are just some young people, I can't see their strength clearly. On the deck, Venerable Feng kept sighing as he scanned the deck. Yan, who was standing next to him, was standing like a minion, his eyes full of timidity. After all, on this ship, any person, even a soldier of the Black Oblivion Army, was much stronger than him. Yan felt great pressure here. Yan, don't be so restrained. Zhuan Kongcai, who was traveling with him, noticed Yan's condition and patted him on the shoulder. Although Yan's strength was not good, as Yao Lao's only disciple, Zhuan Kongcai took good care of him along the way. On this trip, you can see the style of the prodigies of the ancient races, which can be regarded as a broadening of your horizons. Zhuan Kongcai continued, his words full of the teachings of an elder. Yeah, what the senior said is very true. This trip is indeed a broadening of my horizons. Yan nodded respectfully in response. The people over there are from the Stone Clan. Because of their racial bloodline, their bodies are extremely terrifying, comparable to some of the top beasts in the Warcraft world. Hearing this, Yan looked in the direction pointed by Zhuan Kongcai to the other side of the deck. There was a group of people with grayish-white skin, and on their foreheads, there was a huge Stone Clan pattern, which was a clear mark. The people of the Flame Clan have a flame mark on their foreheads. Over there, they should be from the Medicine Clan. When Zhuan Kongcai pointed to several young men and women on the adjacent shuttle boat, Yan paused. Before coming here, he heard Yao Lao talk about it. Back then, Yao Lao was from that ancient race, but later, because his bloodline power was too weak, he was driven out by the Medicine Clan. Therefore, when Yan saw the people of the Medicine Clan, he almost subconsciously showed disgust. When Yan stared at that side, several young people wearing alchemist robes over there seemed to notice something and glanced over. Yan's eyes met with one of the young men, and then moved away after a moment. Yan knew that with his current strength, he could not avenge his teacher. Everything still needed to be endured. This trip was to ask for help for the teacher's resurrection, and he must not cause any other trouble. And dares to spy on us. The man from the Medicine Clan turned around with disdain. Next, Yan lowered his head slightly throughout the whole process, until the warship suddenly trembled violently. He slowly raised his head. The speed of the ship slowed down at this moment, and in the distance, a lush mountain range appeared within the field of vision. Distinguished guests of the ancient clan, please come in. Hearing the old voice on the warship, many people responded politely. Then they all flashed down and flew towards the building complex in the center of the mountain range. That was the reception place of the ancient clan. Yan also followed Zhuan Kongcai and Feng Zunz and flew down together. That guy seems to be. At this moment, In the mountains, a young man from the ancient clan wearing the armor of the Black Annihilation Army showed a trace of doubt and memory in his eyes. Yan? How dare he come here? After thinking carefully for a moment, the young man finally remembered Yan's identity, because the person sent by the ancient demon to kill Yan was him. Gu Li, are you saying that boy is Yan? Hearing this, another young man from the ancient clan beside this person said in surprise, yes, Commander Link Yuan. It's a pity that a mysterious person rescued that boy back then. The subordinate replied seriously, how could he not remember that he personally attacked Yan back then? He is so brave that he dared to come to my ancient world. He must be tired of living. Link Yuan licked his lips, and a murderous intent gradually filled his heart. Commander Link Yuan, are you going to attack Xiao Yan? Ms. Xun'er was furious because of this matter back then. Fortunately, Lord Ancient Demon took everything for me, so I was spared from punishment. But later, Ms. Xun'er also turned against Lord Ancient Demon because of this matter, Gu Li said with some concern, because in recent years, Xun'er's cultivation has progressed rapidly, and she has shown her supreme talent second only to Master Gu Fei, and her status is very high. Killing an ant like him, I still feel that my hands are dirty. Hearing this, Link Yuan paused for a moment, then showed a disdainful expression, and said coldly, isn't he going to watch the ceremony? Then, let him embarrass himself in front of all the strong men in the continent at the coming-of-age ceremony. When Link Yuan and Gu Li were watching Yan seemed to have some sense. This sense has nothing to do with cultivation, but a sensory intuition. Yanzi, don't look for him. That person is the one who came to the Jiama Empire to kill you. At this time, Yao Lao, who had been silent in Yan's ring, reminded him. Yao Lao also had a deep memory of Gu Li. If he hadn't used all his strength that year, Yan would have turned into a pile of yellow earth long ago. Well, Yan forced himself to calm down, and didn't dare to look around anymore. He followed Zhuan Kongcai and Feng Zun's mechanically. Why did Yan come here? In the crowd, an old man in black also noticed Xiao Yan. This person was Ling Ying, the bodyguard who had guarded Xun'er in the northwest continent before. After seeing Yan's current cultivation and his timid appearance, Ling Ying shook his head unconsciously. Mrs. Future achievements, compared to him, are like the difference between the bright moon and the stars. I hope he can understand. In the evening, the night filled the entire land. The cool moonlight poured down from the horizon, covering the entire ancient Saint Mountain range with a layer of light silver yarn. In the center of the mountain range, groups of temples stood one after another. Under the moonlight, they were like ancient beasts, permeating a trace of ancient atmosphere. At this moment, most of these temples were brightly lit. These few days were considered the festive days of the ancient clan, so many places were decorated with lights and filled with a festive atmosphere. On a mountain far away from these grand ancient palaces, it seemed quite quiet, without the noise over there. Daddy, I heard that many people from other ancient races came to watch the coming-of-age ceremony this time. Can you take me to see it? Yes, I'm curious about what people from other ancient races look like. Do people from the Stone Clan look like stones? Daddy, take me there, please. On the mountain, the two little guys, Xian and Wushwang, looked at the lights in the distance. Each hugged one of Goof's thighs and acted coquettishly. Just at this moment, the space in front of the few people was surging, and Xian's figure appeared. After appearing, Xian was holding a spiritual fruit that had been bitten in her hands. Chapter 185 Xun'er, Brother Xian, this is not the place you should come to. And, take us out to play. Seeing Xian appear, Xian immediately let go of Goof's thigh and ran to Xian's side. The pair of big black and shiny eyes looked at Xian eagerly. Where are we going to play? Hearing Xian's address, Xian was obviously very pleased, and then took out a fresh spiritual fruit and stuffed it into the hands of little Xian. Today, many guests came to the tribe. It was very lively, and people from other ancient races came. Xian took a bite of the spiritual fruit, and then explained to Xian while chewing. Okay, Aunt will take you there. Sister, Aunt Xian, I want to go too, wait for me. Wushwang also let go of Goof's thigh and walked towards Xian. Wushwang, who was less than 6 years old, looked harmless, but after completely controlling the power from the sky-devouring python in his body, he was able to exert the strength of a 3-starred Zong. Therefore, he followed Xian directly and walked in the air. These two little guys, seeing the two children running after Xian happily, Gu Fei shook his head with a gentle smile on his face. "My husband, since the children are so happy, let's go over and take a look." The next moment, two beautiful figures appeared on both sides of Gu Fei. They were Xun'er and Yuan. Yes, Gu Fei smiled and nodded. Compared with cultivation, he prefers to accompany his relatives around him, but at present, his strength is not enough to completely stay out of it. "I'll go over and take a look too." King Lin appeared from the side, and not far behind her, the Lion King who had already transformed stood. King Lin was tactful and did not disturb the private time of Gu Fei, Xun'er, and Yuan. She chose to leave with the Lion King, and then quickly caught up with Xian and the others. After everyone left, only Tan Haozun was left on this secluded mountain peak. At the same time, on another green peak, a beautiful figure also slowly walked down the mountain. The moonlight poured down on that elegant face, making it look particularly charming. This beautiful person was Xun'er. From Ling Ying's message, she learned that Xian had come to the ancient world. Subconsciously, Xun'er thought that Xian had come to the ancient world to find her. Originally, she wanted Ling Ying to bring Xian directly to the mountain where she was. However, considering that a single man and a single woman would be in the same place, it would cause some unnecessary misunderstandings, so she gave up the idea. "Let's go there in person." With a sigh, Xun'er slowly left the mountain. "Sister, wait for me." In the palace complex decorated with lights and colors, Wang and Xian were happily running around in the crowd, chasing each other. The area nearby was inhabited by guests from foreign races, so naturally no one knew the two little kids Wang and Xian. "Is this kid Zhang? How old is he?" "This is too amazing." As Wang walked through the crowd, everyone looked at him in amazement. Their eyes were full of disbelief. Some of the older generation of sect masters from Zhongzhou felt that they had been practicing like dogs for so many years. "Teacher, this kid has a higher cultivation level than me." Yan, who was strolling with Fengzun, almost dropped his jaw when he saw Wang passing by. Could it be that in the ancient clan, a child has such a high cultivation level? Fengzun was also extremely surprised. No, even if the bloodline is strong, it would not be so terrifying when born. At most, it is just that the talent is high and the cultivation is fast. Yao Lao denied it directly, but even he himself did not believe his own words. Because in a short period of time, he could not see the reason why Wang's cultivation was so strong. This ancient race has so many monsters. "Senior Fengzun, I'd better not walk around anymore. I'll go take a rest first." Yan felt so insignificant at this moment. If he continued to walk around, he might get upset. Just when Yan was about to return to his residence, a beautiful figure appeared in his sight. "Xun'er, brother Yan, long time no see." Xun'er smiled and greeted Yan calmly. Fengzun obviously didn't expect that Yan actually had an acquaintance in this ancient world. Moreover, this acquaintance of Yan should have a very high status in the ancient world, because, at such a young age, Xun'er's cultivation had reached the level of an 8-starred Zun, which was much stronger than Fengzun's 4-starred Zun. Fengzun had to sigh again that these ancient races were full of monsters. "Xun'er, I haven't seen you for so long. Are you okay?" Yan said excitedly. Yan was full of gratitude towards Xun'er. It was she who gave him Zuo and some advanced fighting skills. Later, when Yao Lao fell asleep, it was Xun'er who took great pains to find the elixir to awaken Yao Lao's sleeping soul. "I'm doing well." Hearing Yan's words, Xun'er didn't react much, just nodded calmly. This surprised Xiao Yan. He was still thinking that after he asked this question, Xun'er would be eager to ask him about what happened in the past few years. The conversation between Xun'er and Yan immediately attracted the attention of some people around, not to mention Xun'er's cultivation. Her appearance alone could attract a lot of attention. They were very curious. How could a stunning beauty like Xun'er know a loser like Yan? Isn't this Ms. Xun'er from the ancient clan? Could that boy be Yan, who caused the separation of Gu Fei and Miss Xun'er from the ancient clan? It is said that after Miss Xun'er got married, she took special care of this man, which made Goof unbearable. It was called a separation, but in fact it was just Goof's unilateral divorce. Looking at the current situation of the two of them, this is probably true. However, her vision is too poor. Such a waste is not even qualified to carry Goof's shoes. Some people from the ancient races who had heard about Xun'er's past started to discuss it. Listening to the voices around her, Xun'er looked angry. She didn't expect that even if she didn't meet Xiao Yan alone, she would still attract criticism. Obviously, she just said a few words to brother Xiao Yan, and didn't do anything. Xun'er is divorced? That means Xun'er has been married for a long time? Xiao Yan was very surprised. It was only then that he knew about Xun'er's past. Xun'er had never told him about it before. In addition to being surprised, Xiao Yan was also very angry. The naked ridicule of the so-called ancient race geniuses around him completely ignored him. Brother Xiao Yan, this is not the place for you to come. Chapter 186 Girl Link's Eye. Goof's doubts. Don't run around in the ancient world this time. Just stay here and wait until the time comes to follow the main group to leave the ancient world. Xun'er spoke in a very calm voice, although her words showed some concern for Xiao Yan's safety. At this moment, it seemed to aggravate Xiao Yan's inferiority complex, making him feel that Xun'er also looked down on him. Xiao Yan clenched his fists tightly, feeling unwilling and hating his own incompetence. I didn't do anything beyond the rules. Could it be that the ancient clan, with such a large force, would do something bad to its guests in the ancient world? After a moment, Xiao Yan's heart sank. He spoke very stubbornly. Haha, my ancient clan would never invite a waste like you. I don't know how a low-leveled Zong got in. As soon as Xiao Yan finished speaking, he was ridiculed by a young man from the ancient clan nearby. Xiao Yan followed me to enter this time, but he didn't sneak in. At this moment, Zhuan Kongcai frowned and said something for Xiao Yan. Then you dan to have such a bad vision. Even for an old generation like Zhuan Kongcai who has a great reputation in Zhangzhou, the young people of the ancient clan still did not give face and continued to ridicule. Xun'er, don't worry, I won't mess around in the ancient realm. I will leave here immediately after finishing some things. Seeing this, Xiao Yan sighed. He understood that before he had any strength, stubbornness was useless. He couldn't implicate Senior Zhuan Kongcai and others. Washuang, I'm here. Haha, sister, you wait. I will catch up with you soon. In the reception area of the ancient clan, Washuang and Xian were still chasing happily in the crowd. Oh, suddenly, Xian turned her head to talk to Washuang behind her, and didn't notice the person in front of her for a while, and bumped into him. The small head hit a soft body, and the body fell backwards immediately. Little sister, are you okay? The beautiful figure in front immediately reached out and grabbed Xian, who was about to fall backwards. I'm fine, thank you, pretty sister. Xian quickly expressed her gratitude after she stood firm. The one who held her just now was a girl who was only a few years older than her. The girl looked only 12 or 13 years old, wearing a white long skirt with some exquisite flower and bird patterns embroidered on the hem, fresh and refined. The girl also had a unique smell on her body, which made people feel very comfortable. Pretty sister, you smell so good, so comfortable, Xian said subconsciously. After that, she continued to move in front of the girl and sniffed a few times. Hearing Xian's frank words, the girl's delicate face also showed a sweet smile. Then, she couldn't help but reach out and touch Xian's cute little face. In fact, the girl didn't emit any fragrance. She was born in the spirit tribe among the 8 ancient tribes. The people of this tribe were born with this unique smell. Sister, are you okay? Washuang also came here at this time. It's okay. Luckily this beautiful sister held me, so I didn't fall. Beautiful sister, what's your name? Xian asked curiously. Linksai. The girl smiled. Her voice was as sweet and crisp as a lark. At this time, behind the girl, 4 figures came over. These people, men and women, old and young, seemed to be from the spirit tribe like the girl Linksai. Xun'er, what happened? A middle-aged beautiful woman in a white dress came over. Her voice was also very soft, which made people feel very comfortable. Moreover, the cultivation of this middle-aged beautiful woman seemed to have reached the semi-saint realm. Mother, just now, This little sister accidentally bumped into me, but fortunately, the little sister did not fall. Lingxi smiled and told what happened just now. So that's how it is, huh, Zhang? At this moment, the beautiful woman noticed Wang beside Xian, and her beautiful eyes were full of surprise. The three people behind the beautiful woman were also surprised. Wang looked only a few years old, but he could have the cultivation of Zhang. It was really incredible. Little guys, are you from the ancient tribe? The beautiful woman asked with a smile. Yes, we have always lived here. Xian and Wang nodded in unison. Although Xun'er and Xiao had taught them not to talk too much to strangers, however, the people of the Ling tribe did not seem like bad people to them. I heard that the sons of Gu Fei, the ancient tribe's prodigy, was born to be a Zhang. It seems that this little guy is Gu Fei's young master, said the middle-aged man behind the beautiful woman. It's really enviable. If only my Ling tribe also had such a high talent for cultivation. Everyone's eyes showed envy. Sister Lingxi, will you play with us? Xian made an invitation. Perhaps it was because of the small age gap and what happened just now that Xian had a good impression of Lingxi. Hearing this, the young girl Lingxi subconsciously glanced at the middle-aged beautiful woman next to her. Go. The beautiful woman nodded with a smile on her face. In her opinion, with Gu Fei's current achievements, he will definitely succeed the head of the ancient tribe in the future. It seems good that Lingxi can make friends with the daughter of the future patriarch of the ancient tribe. Thank you, mother. Perhaps because of too many restrictions in normal times, after getting permission, Lingxi seemed to let go of her nature and relaxed. After Lingxi, Xian and Wang left, a purple figure appeared here. She glanced at the people of the Ling tribe lightly, and then slowly left. Her steps were slow, but it was obvious that she was following the two little guys in front. That woman just now gave me a great pressure. The beautiful woman of the Ling tribe looked at Xian's back with a serious look. The ancient tribe is known as the most powerful ancient race, not without reason. Daddy and mother are over there. After a while, Wang, who was running, was the first to find Gu Fei and Xun'er in the crowd, and the little Dr. Fairy ran over happily. Wang, it's lively tonight, isn't it? Gu Fei stretched out his hand and lifted Wang up, with a doting look on his face. The next moment, his eyes looked at Xian and the girl Lingxi who were coming from behind. A person from the spirit clan? The moment he saw Lingxi, Gu Fei immediately determined that she was from the spirit clan. He subconsciously frowned. In the original novel, when the ancient clan had their coming-of-age ceremony, the spirit clan had no visitors, and their clan's space was suddenly closed before that. Later on, everyone knew that it was the Soul clan that had already attacked the spirit clan at that time. But now, the spirit clan is living in peace, and some people are coming to the ancient realm. Does this mean that the Soul clan's plan has not yet been carried out? Chapter 187 Yan, Master Gu Fei, please help save my master. Could it be that the Soul clan postponed their plan to destroy the spirit clan because I took Xian with me to remove the human palace of the Soul palace a few years ago and seized the soul origin from it? At this moment, Gu Fei fell into deep thought. It seemed that only that reason could explain the current situation of the spirit clan. Daddy, what's wrong with you? Mom said that frowning is not good looking. Wang saw the difference on Gu Fei's face and asked in confusion, while stretching out her white and tender little hands to smooth the wrinkles on Gu Fei's forehead. Beside Gu Fei, Xun'er and Xiao also noticed the change in Gu Fei's expression. What is your husband thinking about? They both had doubts in their hearts. Could it be? Your husband's frown is related to the girl who is with Xian? The next moment, Xun'er and Xiao both looked at the girl Lingxi, being stared at by Gu Fei and the other two. Lingxi's little face unconsciously felt a little nervous. This is Mr. Gu Fei, right? I didn't mean to approach Xian. Xian's sister, I'm leaving first. Lingxi guessed Gu Fei's identity through the way Wang and Xian addressed Gu Fei. At this moment, she was a little confused. She thought that Gu Fei's reaction now was because he didn't want his daughter to be with her. So, after explaining to Gu Fei seriously, Lingxi planned to leave. Daddy, I accidentally bumped into Sister Lingxi. Sister Lingxi is a very nice person. She is my friend. Sister Lingxi, Don't leave yet. Xian held Ling Xi with her little hand and explained to Gu Fei and Xiao Yan. Xian, be good. Daddy was just thinking about other things. It has nothing to do with her. You can continue to play. Hearing Xian's words, Gu Fei smiled and put Shuang down. With an emotional system, no one in the world can see people's hearts better than Gu Fei. Through the emotional value prompt just now, Gu Fei naturally knew the nature of this girl Ling Xi. She didn't have any purpose. On the contrary, his mind was particularly pure. Then let's continue to play. Hearing this, Xian was very happy, and Ling Xi no longer felt the awkwardness just now. After the little guys gradually walked away, Gu Fei's face, which was originally full of smiles, frowned again, because he sensed a malicious peeping gaze, and suddenly turned his head. Gu Fei saw three figures in black robes in the crowd looking at this side. There is no doubt that from the attire of the three people and the aura they exude, it is clear that they are members of the Soul Clan. The Soul Clan has always been a mountain weighing on Gu Fei's heart. If he wants his family to live a carefree life in the future, he must deal with the Soul Clan. When the three black-robed figures were swept by Gu Fei's eyes, their heartbeats accelerated, and then they subconsciously lowered their heads and dared not look at each other. These three people are all the leaders of the younger generation of the Soul Clan, and their cultivation is above the 8-starred sun. They were sent by the Soul Clan to participate in the Tenmu trial. However, in Gu Fei's eyes, these three people were like jumping clowns and were not worth mentioning. After Gu Fei took a look, he retracted his gaze and stopped paying attention. He led Xun'er and Xiao Yan to follow the little guys. This person is so scary. Just a look. I feel like I have walked through the gates of hell. Gu Fei deserves to be called the first pride of the ancient clan. I am afraid that only the young clan leader can be compared with such a person. After Gu Fei left, the three people of the Soul Clan breathed a sigh of relief. Just now, the three of them were all scared and sweating on their backs. Brother Yan, you said you would leave after finishing some things. What exactly is it that requires you to come to our ancient clan in person to do it? Xun'er, after hearing Yan's words, had a slight doubt in her eyes. She guessed that Yan might know that he was a descendant of the ancient clan. Hearing Xun'er's words, Yan hesitated and didn't know what to say for a while. Could it be that Brother Yan is really trying to get a place in the heavenly tomb this time? Seeing Yan's hesitation, Xun'er guessed in her heart. This time, many people from the ancient races came here not only to watch the ceremony. It is also related to the opening of the heavenly tomb. The heavenly tomb is a special space created by a former strongman. This space is a place for the deceased to rest in peace, and it can allow people to survive in another form after death. Moreover, the passage of time in this space is different from that in the outside world, which is several times faster than that in the outside world. Such a high time flow rate. Entering into practice will get twice the result with half the effort. The heavenly tomb opens every 20 years, and each of the 8 ancient clans can enter with 2 places. However, since the ancient Xiao clan completely declined and disappeared 1,000 years ago, the 2 places of the Xiao clan have been occupied by people from the ancient clan. Today, the ancient clan has already regarded this as a habit. If Yan really came here for a place, it is afraid that it will be extremely difficult to succeed. Brother Gu Fei is coming. At this time, there was a small commotion among the crowd watching here, and a passage happened to be vacated. Brother Gu Fei, hearing the noise, Xun'er also looked up and saw Gu Fei walking slowly over there. She looked very happy, but soon, she saw Gu Fei frowning. Is Brother Gu Fei angry? I shouldn't have come out to find Brother Yan this time. Xun'er realized that she was talking to Yan just now. Thinking of the previous things, she couldn't help but regret that she shouldn't have come here to talk to Yan tonight. In fact, she didn't know that Gu Fei didn't notice her at all. The reason why Gu Fei frowned now was because he was still thinking about the things that the Soul Clan had postponed. It's him. Yan turned his head and saw Gu Fei, who was the focus of everyone's attention. Beside Gu Fei, there were 2 stunning beauties surrounding him, and people kept stopping to look at him and show their goodwill. It can be said that he was shining. Teacher said that only this person who has fused several different fires can revive Teacher. If you miss this opportunity, it won't be so easy to see him again. Yan did not forget the ultimate purpose of this trip to the ancient world. At this moment, All other things were automatically filtered out of Yan's mind. He mustered up his courage and walked slowly towards Gu Fei. Brother Yan, what are you going to do? Seeing that Yan seemed to have made up his mind and walked towards Gu Fei, Xun'er mistakenly thought that Yan was going to do something stupid. Don't you know what your strength is? Why do you have to overestimate your own abilities? The next moment, Xun'er also followed and persuaded Yan from behind. Master Gu Fei, please, save my master. Chapter 188. You don't think that the weaker one is right, do you? Yan came close to Gu Fei, and his abrupt words made the people around him a little confused. This kid, he still has the courage to ask Brother Gu Fei to save people. He is really bold. At the beginning, Brother Gu Fei chose to separate from Miss Xun'er because Ms. Xun'er took too much care of this kid. Who does Brother Yan want to save? Is he going to save his mysterious master? Xun'er was also very confused at this time. Moreover, what is the situation of his master that he must ask Gu Fei to save him? Can't other people save him? Save people? Gu Fei, who was still thinking about the Soul Clan, stopped and glanced at Xiao Yan. Gu Fei was a little surprised that Yan came to the ancient realm, but that was all. This kind of thing was no longer taken to heart by him. Husband, do you know him? I guess I have met him before. When I went to Yunlin sect, this person was spying on me, and there was a remnant soul following him. Gu Fei turned around and replied to Xiao Yan, Master Gu Fei, I came to the ancient realm this time to find you and ask for your help. Please save my master. Yan felt ignored by Gu Fei, and quickly reorganized his words. His voice was very sincere. Are you asking for help now? Hearing this, Gu Fei glanced at Yan again and spoke lightly. Hearing Gu Fei's words, Yan's eyes seemed to be struggling. He thought that Gu Fei was trying to vent his anger because of what happened between him and Xun'er. For Yao Lao, his mentor, Yan was willing to sacrifice something, even the dignity of a man. The next moment, Yan's legs were slightly bent, and he actually showed signs of kneeling down to Gu Fei. Brother Yan, what are you doing? Xun'er saw this scene and immediately reached out to grab Yan. Even if you are asking for something, you don't have to kneel down. Mr. Gu Fei, after we parted all that year, I never thought we would have the chance to meet again here. At this moment, Juan Kongcai and Feng came over. Juan Kongcai and Gu Fei were old acquaintances, so his tone was quite relaxed. President Juan Kongcai. Gu Fei nodded politely when he met an acquaintance, and then smiled and said, speaking of which, I have to thank President Juan Kongcai for the gift of the strange fire that year. This time you come to the ancient world as a guest. I will definitely treat you well. Hearing this, Juan Kongcai thought to himself, that strange fire was obviously snatched by you back then, and you insisted that it was a gift from me. However, thinking so in his heart, Juan Kongcai still had a flattering smile on his face. Strange fire is a spiritual thing of heaven and earth, and only the capable can get it. Young Master Gu Fei can subdue the 3,000 flames, which just shows that he has a destiny with strange fire. With the appearance of Juan Kongcai, an acquaintance, Yan was once again ignored by Gu Fei. Young Master Gu Fei, what do you want me to do before you agree to save my master? Being ignored again, Yan was a little anxious at this time, and his tone was involuntarily filled with a bit of resentment, and he questioned. In his state, it seemed that Gu Fei was making things difficult for him. What do you want from me? Hearing Yan's words, Gu Fei frowned in displeasure. Hey, then, as if he was amused by Yan's actions, Gu Fei asked back, do you think we have a good relationship? As long as you ask, I will definitely help you. After Gu Fei finished speaking, Yan froze in his place, his face very embarrassed. In terms of relationship, his relationship with Gu Fei is definitely not good. Moreover, this is the first time they have met formally. In terms of emotion and reason, Gu Fei does not have the obligation to help. I just said it. If you ask for help, you must show the attitude of asking for help. What's more, the person you want to save is here now, but you are unwilling to come out to see me in person. Where is your sincerity? Gu Fei continued to say a few more words. Every word he said was reasonable, and there was no intention of looking down on others. This Yan is too bad at dealing with people. He doesn't understand such an obvious principle. When we ask the alchemist to make medicine, we need to offer a good gift. Not only do we have to bring our own herbs, but we also have to bring double the herbs. When asking someone to do something, not only does he not make it clear what he is asking for, but he also wants the other party to agree without a gift. This is the first time I have seen such a ridiculous person. The people watching around stood on Gu's side, not only because of Gu's identity, but more because Gu was right. This is not a place where whoever is weak is right. I almost misunderstood brother Gu again. Xun'er also understood that Gu's words were not to make things difficult for Hei Yan, but just to ask for a normal reward for helping others. Please forgive me, Master Gu. We are the master and disciple and we are rude. When Hei Yan was embarrassed, Yao Lao's soul floated out of Hei Yan's ring. As soon as his illusory, old figure appeared, it attracted many people around him. Surprise! Isn't this the medicine venerable from that year? Rumor has it that medicine venerable has passed away for many years. I didn't expect that his soul is still alive. After Yao Lao's soul appeared, he did not care about the discussions around him. Instead, he bowed towards Gu and said sincerely, Mr. Gu, it's not that I don't want to show up. I'm just a soul body now, and it's really inconvenient for me to show up in public. I came here this time to ask Mr. Gu to reshape my body. Yao Lao's efficiency was much higher than Hei Yan's, and he stated his purpose without any nonsense. The medicine master was known as the #1 alchemist in Zhongzhou. Now that he has come forward in person, I believe Master Gu will give him face. Yes, the medicine master can be resurrected. This favor can be exchanged for a large number of high-level elixirs in the future. The Gu clan should not refuse it. What a joke. Such a stray dog is worthy of being called the #1 alchemist. The level of alchemists above Zhongzhou is really laughable. When some Zhongzhou sect masters were complimenting the medicine master, two sarcastic voices suddenly sounded, and Hei Yan's eyes suddenly became bloodshot. How dare you insult my master? Hei Yan clenched his fists and stared at the two people who had just spoken. At this moment, the medicine master's expression was also extremely angry, and his eyes stared at the two people coldly. The people who spoke were two young men wearing alchemist robes. Obviously, they were all from the medicine clan, and they also knew that Yao Chen was the member of the clan who was driven out by their medicine clan. Brother Hei Yan, don't be impulsive. You are not their opponent yet. Xun'er hurriedly persuaded Xiao Yan. The two young men from the medicine clan were both above the 7-star Xun level. If Hei Yan took action, he would be the one who would suffer. A waste is indeed a waste. The disciple he taught is still such a waste. Facing the angry eyes of Hei Yan and his disciple, the two people from the medicine clan were fearless and continued to make sarcastic remarks. Chapter 189. Hei Yan, Master Gu, please forgive my recklessness. Such a waste. No wonder he was expelled by the law enforcement elders. Damn. Damn it. At this moment, facing the two people from the medicine clan who were unscrupulously mocking Yao Lao, Hei Yan clenched his fists, and the end of his nails had already embedded in his palms. Bright red blood slowly flowed from the cracks in his palms. Brother Hei Yan, you have to be more rational and don't care about what these people say. Seeing Hei Yan in this state, Xun'er was very worried about him and advised him to be patient. The people of the medicine clan are really bullying. Besides Hei Yan, Zhuan Kongcai and Feng Zun's also looked unhappy at this time. They watched their old friend being insulted by two juniors, and they felt very uncomfortable. However, now they are in the ancient world, and for the sake of the overall situation, they still can't cause trouble. The two of them can only be patient. You two, this is the ancient world. Everyone is a guest. You two better not cause any trouble. Listening to the two big loudspeakers of the medicine clan chattering over there, Gu had a headache. The next moment, a faint voice sounded, and a huge soul pressure descended on the heads of the two medicine clan members. What a strong soul pressure! Even the elders of the clan have never possessed such a terrifying soul pressure. This person's soul realm is probably in the late heaven realm. Could it be that the rumors are true, and Gu really refined the 9th grade treasure pill? Feeling the soul pressure emitted by Gu, the two medicine clan members immediately turned pale. I haven't seen you for a few years, and Gu's soul power is so unfathomable. Gu's soul pressure only acted on the two medicine clan members. Others did not notice anything, but Zhuan Kongcai, the Danta giant, was extremely sharp. He took a deep look at Gu, his eyes full of amazement. Such a genius is really rare in the world. In the future Qi continent, Guf's name will definitely be engraved. Seeing that Guf made the two medicine clan members restrain themselves with just one sentence, Xun'er was very happy. The people watching around also saw the great power of Guf. Thank you, Master Guf. After Yao Lao calmed down, he bowed to Guf again to express his gratitude. Master Guf, if you can agree to my request just now and help me refine my body, I am willing to offer the bone spirit cold fire ranked 11th on the strange fire list as a thank you. As soon as the words fell, a stream of white flames emerged from Yao Lao's illusory soul body. This white flame was sometimes hot and sometimes cold, which looked very strange. I didn't expect that Master Yao would be willing to take out the bone spirit cold fire ranked 11th on the strange fire list as a reward. This sincerity is very strong. Seeing this scene, the people around were a little shocked and envious. Isn't it just a bone spirit cold fire? What's so good about it? While everyone was envious, one of the young men of the Yao clan was disdainful at this time, because he had a stronger strange fire on his body, the 9 nether wind flame ranked 10th. However, besides disdain, this person was also a little shocked. It was rumored that Guf had the ability to fuse multiple strange fires. It seems that the rumor is true, because the matter of refining the body to revive requires multiple kinds of strange fires to succeed. These secret medicine clan people also know about it. Young Master Guf, I have prepared all the other materials, you just need to refine the body. Yao Lao continued. This sincerity is good. Listening to Yao Lao's sincere words, Guf smiled and nodded. For him, this deal is not a loss at all. Refining the body may take one night to complete, and it will not delay the coming-of-age ceremony tomorrow morning. Moreover, the practice that Guf practices requires the replenishment of strange fires. The fusion of strange fires is not as simple as 1 + 1. Thank you, young Master Guf. Yao Lao was full of joy and thanked him again. Young Master Guf, Yan was ignorant before. Please forgive Yan's previous rash behavior. Yan also apologized sincerely at this time. Okay, don't waste time, come with me. Next, Guf led Yao Lao and others to a nearby hall. As for the reward, we will have to wait until Yao Chen is successfully resurrected. If he takes the strange fire now, Yao Chen's soul may not be able to survive that test. Let's go over and take a look. Yan is watching over the children, so they will be fine. Now Yixian and Kair looked at each other and chose to follow. In the hall, Zhuan Kongcai took out a body and placed it on a stone platform in the center. Master Guf, this is the bone-melting blood pill required for refining the body, and some powerful monster blood. Give it to me. There is no need to tell me the process. I know it all. Guf took the thing handed over by Zhuan Kongcai and immediately stuffed the pill to Yao Lao. Give me a wisp of soul power. Seeing that Guf was extremely familiar with this process, Yao Lao was happy and immediately gave out a wisp of soul without hesitation. Next, Guf grabbed the wisp of soul that Yao Lao had separated beside him, and then slapped the bones on the stone platform with one palm, and slapped the soul into the bones. I will refine the body first. If it succeeds, you will enter it and complete the final fusion. Guf did not hesitate. Having had experience in refining, he quickly poured the blood of the monster in the jade bottle onto the corpse. White smoke suddenly burst out from the gray-white skeleton. The color of the skeleton changed, and at the same time, a strong energy fluctuation was transmitted. Then, Guf waved his sleeves, and the strange fire surged out, wrapping the corpse. This step is to let the blood energy completely enter the depths of the skeleton. Get ready. Yes, after Guf burned the skeleton for an hour, he reminded Yao Lao, and Yao Lao naturally knew that now was the best time. At that moment, he quickly swallowed the bone-melting blood pill, and his figure quickly became illusory, turning into a light and shadow, and swept into the skeleton. Bang! At the moment when Yao Lao's soul entered the skeleton, light gradually condensed in the empty eye sockets of the skeleton, and it was at this moment that the terrifying strange energy diffused from the skeleton. Under this energy, flesh and blood began to miraculously appear on the bones. Flesh grew on bones. This kind of magical effect was naturally brought by the bone-growing and blood-melting pill. Great! Seeing this strange phenomenon, Yuan was indescribably happy and excited. Don't be too happy, it's just the beginning. Gu Fei looked at the flesh and blood tissues that were rapidly wriggling on the skeleton and urged the strange fire again. Under the calcination of the strange fire, the newly formed flesh and blood tissues were quickly burned to ashes. Yuan didn't expect that in order to be resurrected, he would have to go through such a painful process. He couldn't help but sweat for Yao Lao. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 190. Stop. You are a waste and have no right to watch the ceremony. Fortunately, after the flesh and blood were burned, the terrifying strange energy in the elixir spread out again, allowing the flesh and blood to grow again. Moreover, the speed of the flesh and blood growth was getting faster and faster. Later, almost only the granulation of flesh could be seen wriggling rapidly. After a while, a bloody and blurred human figure was quickly formed. This burning and growth continued for several hours, and the skin tissue on the flesh and blood finally took shape completely. Along with the formation of the skin, at this moment, the skeleton on the stone platform was completely transformed into a living person. I didn't expect that there would be such a magical thing in the world that could bring the dead back to life. Some powerful sects from Zhongzhou were extremely respectful to Gu Fei at this moment. Okay, in the next period of time, he needs to merge with this body himself. During this period, it is best not to disturb him. Seeing this situation, Gu Fei took the strange fire back into his body and instructed Zhuan Kongcai beside him. The people watching around finally began to disperse at this time. They had a feast for their eyes all night, watching the Master Gu Fei personally saving people. My husband, you have been concentrating on activating the strange fire all night. You must be tired. The coming-of-age ceremony will be held soon. Now Yixian and Kair walked on Gu Fei's left and right. Kair wiped the sweat off Gu Fei's forehead, and Yixian took out a brand new robe for Gu Fei to put on. When the few people walked out of the hall, it was no longer dark outside, and the sky was pale. This ancient sacred mountain range also became lively at this moment. Figures flashed across the sky, and all kinds of festive gongs and drums resounded over the mountains. Brother Gu Fei, wait for me. Xun'er watched Gu Fei save Yao Lao the whole time, and then hurried to catch up after Gu Fei left. Today's coming-of-age ceremony, she can also be said to be one of the protagonists. Many years ago, the blood test showed that her blood level was far beyond that of ordinary people. Today's coming-of-age ceremony, Xun'er was very confident that she could reach the level of the only divine bloodline of the ancient clan in the past 1,000 years. Xun'er. Yan looked back. When he saw Xun'er chasing Gu Fei, a bitterness filled his heart unconsciously. Before, when he heard that Xun'er had been married once, he felt very uncomfortable, but there were too many people at that time, and he had important things to do in the ancient world this time, so he forced himself to suppress the emotion. At this moment, the matter of Yao Lao had been almost resolved, and the discomfort in his heart could no longer be suppressed. Thinking back to the time in Yuan City, Xun'er was particularly close to him. Even when his cultivation level regressed and he was laughed at by everyone, Xun'er never disliked him and encouraged him, until later, when Xun'er left the Zhao family, she kept in touch with him, giving him all kinds of things to help him practice. In fact, his feelings for Xun'er were no longer the kind of feelings between brothers and sisters. And now, before he had time to take any action, Xun'er had already married. Although Xun'er has been divorced by Gu Fei, she seems to still be obsessed with Gu Fei and wants to get back together. When Yan thought of this, his heart ached and he put his hand on his chest. Let's go out too. Let the old guy stay in there quietly. What happens next depends on the old guy himself. If he persists, he can truly be reborn from the ashes. After Zhuan Kongcai arranged some things, he led Feng Zun and Yan out. He also arranged a seal in the hall to prevent others from accidentally breaking in and disturbing them. If she really still likes Gu Fei, I will bury this love in my heart, but if she turns back one day, no matter how many difficulties she encounters, I will pursue her. After coming out, Yan made up his mind and planned to watch the coming-of-age ceremony. After leaving the hall, Gu took Xiao and Xiao to the center of the huge square that was completely surrounded by the ancient atmosphere. He did not stop and did not care about Xun'er, who was jogging behind him. Around the ancient square, there were many soldiers of the Black Annihilation Army wearing black armor standing upright, with sharp eyes like eagles, constantly sweeping around. "Greetings to Lord Gu Fei, greetings to Lord Gu Fei." When these Black Annihilation Army saw Gu Fei coming, they all saluted respectfully. In recent years, although Gu Fei did not go to the Black Annihilation Army to continue to compete for a higher position, but with the retirement of the previous generation of Black Annihilation Army leaders, after Gu King Yang, Gu Yao and others became the four major generals, because no one felt that they could beat Gu Fei, they automatically left one of the general positions for Gu Fei. All the people in the Black Annihilation Army were convinced by this decision. After all, Gu Fei easily defeated the Shura General Gu Yao back then. And now, Gu Fei has already entered the semi-saint stage before Gu Yao and Gu King Yang, who would not be convinced by such an achievement. Yes, facing the salute, Gu Fei also nodded slightly to indicate, and then walked in calmly. Behind Gu Fei and the other two, Xun'er also walked in with a firm step. However, when Xiao Yan came over, there was a sound of heavy clashing of spears. It turned out that two black soldiers in golden armor used spears to stop Xiao Yan and Xun'er. "Stop. This area is a special area. People who are not from our clan or those specially invited by our clan cannot enter here," the two golden armored soldiers said in unison. "We came with Danta and were invited by your ancient clan. Is this how you treat guests?" Xiao Yan was very annoyed when he was stopped and wanted to argue. "Haha, Danta is Danta, you two have not reached that qualification yet." Xiao Yan's argument was met with ruthless ridicule from the two golden armored soldiers. Just when Xiao Yan was embarrassed and at a loss, a young man from the ancient clan came over and said something to the two golden armored soldiers. "It's better to let him go in and make a fool of himself." Then, the two men showed an inexplicable smile on their faces, put down their spears and began to let them go. Although Xiao Yan sensed that something was wrong, he believed that the people of the ancient clan would not attack the guests participating in the ceremony on such an occasion. Soon after Xiao Yan entered the square, he found that there seemed to be several people from the ancient clan looking at him with gloating. Suddenly, Xiao Yan felt a chill on his body, and his eyes turned quickly. At the end of his sight, a figure with a fierce murderous intention sat cross-legged. This person's hair was black and white. The whole body exuded a cold air. Xiao Yan didn't know that Gu Li, who went to Jiama to kill him, was just a small follower. The one who really wanted to kill him was the man in front of him who made people feel cold at first sight. Chapter 191, Humiliated Again. Xiao Yan is reluctant. The time has come. Let's begin the ceremony. In the square, after the sound of a bell, a mighty and calm voice suddenly came out from the void. When the mighty voice slowly fell, three elders of the ancient clan stood up from their seats not far away with serious faces. They slowly walked to the center of the square, where there were already many props. The ceremony begins. Linquin. Then, the three elders of the ancient clan read out the first name according to the list. After the voice fell, Linquin hurriedly stood up, and with a move of his body, he rushed out with a bit of high spirits and saluted respectfully to the elders. There are naturally many young adults in the ancient clan, but only a few can hold an adult ceremony in such an occasion. And these people are undoubtedly the best among the young generation of the ancient clan. Therefore, it is no wonder that Linquin has a slight sense of pride on his face. In the field, the serious-looking elder of the ancient clan clenched his palm, and a star disk nearly 10 feet in size appeared in front of him. Linquin also stepped forward quickly, touched the star disk with his palm, and closed his eyes. Soon, a strong light burst out from the star disk, and 6 stars slowly emerged. Linquin, the 8th commander of the Black Annihilation Army, with the strength of a 1-starred sun, and a 6th-grade bloodline, has been decided and discussed by the Council of Elders to be given a Golden Clan emblem. Golden Clan emblem, worthy of being the 8th commander. Hearing the shout from the elder's mouth, the people of the ancient clan in the square spoke with some envy. Linquin's eyes also flashed with joy, and he knelt on one knee and raised his head. At this time, an elder of the ancient clan held a brush that flashed with golden light, and his arm danced out after images, and a mysterious rune appeared on Linquen's forehead. Daddy, Mother. After Gu Fei and the other two sat down, Zhao Zian and Shuang, two little guys, also came here under the leadership of Ziyan and King Lin. There are not many people in the ancient clan who don't know Ziyan's current strength. Even some of the ancient clan elders with great prestige have to be very polite when they see Ziyan. Wait another 20 years. This stage will belong to you too. Gu Fei held the two little guys on his lap. At this time, he was a father who doted on his children, without showing any edge. Now he has long lost the desire to compete with these young people. On the one hand, it is his state of mind, but more of it comes from his current strength. There is no need to do those things. 6th grade bloodline level, golden clan pattern, what are these? In the field, Yan felt extremely unfamiliar with these things and asked with his head tilted. However, Venerable Feng could not answer. The people of Xinyan Pavilion have not yet been exposed to the secrets that belong to the ancient races. Hey, you don't even know this. The conversation between the two was sneered by a strong man from a large sect in Zhangzhou. Ancient races have 10 levels of blood, with the first being the lowest and the 10th being the highest. This kind of clan emblem is passed down from the ancients. In critical moments, it can temporarily increase the blood power of the ancients and improve their strength, thus escaping danger. Clan emblems are divided into 4 levels: silver, gold, purple gold, and 7-color gold, distinguished by color, and Linquen's clan emblem is the 3rd order golden clan emblem. This clan emblem has such a miraculous effect. Although this person was sneering at him, it at least solved his doubts. Yan did not resent the old man at this time, but was just surprised. He did not expect that the people of the ancient clan not only had the innate advantages in cultivation, but also had this kind of means to burst out their strength. Elder, do I have the qualifications to challenge anyone at will during the coming-of-age ceremony? Linquen, who received the clan emblem, did not go down, but glanced at Yan, and then bowed to ask several elders. Hearing this, the 3 elders of the ancient clan frowned at the same time, not knowing what Linquen was up to. But the rules were indeed like this. According to the rules, you can now challenge anyone from your clan, but if the other party is not from your clan, you need the other party's consent before you can fight with him. After hearing the conversation between the people on the stage, Yan suddenly remembered the strange looks those people from the ancient clan gave him before. Yan, I heard that you are a descendant of the ancient Zhao clan. In the future, do you have the courage to challenge me, Linquen, so that everyone can see the style of your ancient Zhao clan now? Sure enough, the next moment, Linquen looked towards Yan, but some of the words he said confused Xiao Yan. Ancient Zhao clan? Since entering Zhangzhou, Yan has also heard of the ancient Zhao clan, but he didn't know that he was the descendant of the Zhao clan. At this time, it was Linquen who wanted to fight Yan, but because Yan was too weak, he forced Yan to say the words of challenge himself. Brother Yan, you are indeed from the Zhao clan, but the ancient Zhao clan is now dead in name only, so you don't have to pay attention to Linquan. Originally, Xun'er didn't sit next to Yan in order to avoid Gu Fei's misunderstanding, but seeing Linquan's behavior, she came to Yan and reminded him worriedly. At this time, most people had a gloating expression, especially the 2 people from the Yao clan. It seems that the apprentice brought by the abandoned child is quite hated. It seems that he is a descendant of the ancient Zhao clan. There will be a good show to watch. Yao Xingjia instantly became interested. He didn't expect that the first person to come on stage at the Gu clan's coming-of-age ceremony would be able to make everyone laugh. Haha, Yan. If you are too scared, you can also not challenge me, ancient Zhao clan. Haha. On the stage, Linquan saw Xun'er appear next to Yan. His eyes turned cold, and he sneered. Such a waste. How dare he challenge Linquan, who has the strength of a 1-star Xun. Everyone around knew that Linquan's move was deliberately to make Yan, a member of the ancient Zhao clan, look embarrassed in front of everyone. My ancient Zhao clan was once a clan as famous as the ancient clan, but in my generation, it has declined to this point. After learning about his identity, Yan was very unwilling, and a sense of humiliation surged in his heart. He was thinking whether he should defend the family honor and fight Linquen with all his might. Okay, Linquen, come down, don't waste time. Just as Xiao Yan was angry and struggling, the ancient demon who was sitting cross-legged on the ground and exuding a cold aura suddenly spoke. He said this not to help Xiao Yan out, but simply looked down on Xiao Yan. In the eyes of the ancient demon, because of a waste like Xiao Yan, the progress of the coming-of-age ceremony was affected. It was completely unnecessary. Chapter 192 Xun'er, Brother Gu Fei, did I surprise you this time? Boy, you're lucky this time. On the stage, Yuan had to obey after hearing the words of Gu Yao. Before leaving, Yuan gave Xiao Yan a contemptuous look. Crack. At this moment, Xiao Yan's humiliation in his heart could no longer be described in words. He clenched his fists, and the sound of bones colliding between his fingers kept coming out. But unfortunately, he could only vent his anger in this way. Even if he felt angry, he couldn't do anything to Yuan. Fortunately, no one cared about the emotions of a minion at this moment. Even Xun'er was almost the same. In her opinion, Xiao Yan was lucky to avoid fighting with Yuan this time. Without empathy, not many people could understand Xiao Yan's discomfort. Why am I so incompetent? Xiao Yan kept shouting in his heart. He seemed to feel that Xun'er was protecting him like a weak person, not caring. Xiao Yan, relax. No one should bother you next time. Feng Xun patted Xiao Yan's shoulder. His words finally pulled Xiao Yan back to reality from his inner world. Yes, I am at Zong Waste. It is a blessing in disguise that I can avoid fighting with Yuan. What else can I ask for? Xiao Yan laughed at himself. As Yuan walked off the stage, the younger generation of the ancient clan went up one after another to test their bloodline level and be granted clan emblems. Soon, it was the turn of the ancient monster to test their bloodline. The ancient monster came on stage, stretched out his palm, and gently touched the star disk. The star disk was silent for a while. After a while, the star disk trembled violently, and bright and strong light shot out from it. One by one, stars appeared on the star disk. 1, 2, 3, 8. Looking at the 8 stars that slowly appeared on the star disk, the audience suddenly became noisy. Even some elders nodded with some amazement. Obviously, this test made them very satisfied. It's actually the 8th grade bloodline level, worthy of being one of the 4 great governors. The ancient clan's people kept whispering in the square, full of envy. Gu Yao, one of the 4 great governors of the Black Annihilation Army, 9-starred Xun, the power of the 8th grade bloodline, and the purple gold clan pattern. After the shout, an elder took out a purple gold dragon pen, and the tip of the pen suddenly burst out with extremely bright and strong light. Soon, a mysterious rune quickly appeared on Gu Yao's forehead. Drawing this so-called purple gold clan pattern seems to consume a lot of fighting spirit. Therefore, when the last stroke fell, the elder's forehead was slightly sweaty, and he exhaled a long breath, stopped writing, and the bright light of the pen tip slowly weakened. 9-starred Xun. When the teacher was at his peak, he seemed to be at this level, and this ancient clan member, at such a young age, has already achieved such an achievement. Watching the ancient clan members come on stage one by one, Xiao Yan felt more and more that this race was powerful, and at the same time, he was also frustrated. I heard that 1,000 years ago, the strength of his Xiao clan was not inferior to that of the ancient clan. Unfortunately, 1,000 years later, it ended up like this. What happened back then that caused the decline of the ancient Xiao clan? Let me preside over the next ceremony. After continuing to test the blood of several young people from the ancient clan, an old voice with huge pressure sounded above the square. Then, an old man suddenly descended on the square. Several elders around him bowed politely, and at the same time, there was a kind of shock in their eyes. They all understood what it meant that even this person came to preside over the coming-of-age ceremony in person. This time, there must be a demon clan member with a bloodline beyond the 8-star level. Xun'er, it's your turn. After the old man appeared, he looked at Xun'er in the corner of the square. Yes. Hearing this, Xun'er raised her head and chest, and slowly walked onto the high platform under the attention of thousands of people. Brother Gu Fei, wait, you will definitely be surprised by me. After Xun'er came on stage, she took a deep look in the direction of Gu Fei, then closed her eyes and placed her jade hand on the star disk. One by one, the stars also emerged quietly. The eyes of the whole audience were all focused on the star disk at this moment. 1, 2, 5, 8. Looking at the increasing number of stars on the star disk, the breathing sounds of many people in the square became heavier. Even people with keen perception can find that the space of this sky is slightly fluctuating, and there are faint and powerful breaths coming out. Under the gaze of countless eyes, not long after the 8th star appeared on the star disk, another burst of strong light gathered. 9 stars, 9th grade bloodline. Looking at the 9 dazzling stars on the star disk, almost all the ancient clan members took a deep breath. 9th grade bloodline. This means that the ancient clan will have a clan member with the potential to be promoted to Sheng. Although this is only potential, with this potential, plus enough time, this potential will truly create a new Sheng. This now symbolizes the existence of the pinnacle in this world. Even super forces like the ancient clan attach great importance to it, because when it comes to forces like them, what they compete for is actually the number of Shengs owned by each clan. Whoever has more Shengs is the real pinnacle force. It is indeed the 9th grade bloodline. Xun'er's bloodline power is really strong. The ancient demon who was promoted to the commander of Shur looked at this scene and couldn't help smacking his lips. Although the ancient demon no longer likes Xun'er, this does not affect his praise for a member of the high-grade bloodline clan. It's already the peak of the 9th grade. In the square, the ancient clan strongman who tested Xun'er stared at the extremely dazzling stars. Under the convergence of countless eyes, Xun'er's jade hand suddenly trembled, and her jade arm seemed to become transparent at this moment. Inside, in the blood vessels, blood was flowing rapidly, and a little bit of golden light spots, along with the blood vessels, quickly converged on the jade hand that touched the star disk. Swish! As the golden light spots became more and more intense, later, Xun'er's entire arm became as if it was made of gold. When this light reached its peak, the star disk suddenly trembled violently, and tiny cracks appeared quietly, and finally spread rapidly. Such a terrifying blood power, even the star disk can't bear it. Seeing this scene, even the elders were horrified. Buzz! When the cracks spread, a golden fluorescence suddenly appeared behind the 9th star on the star disk. After a while, a star that was completely golden and slightly dim appeared under the gaze of countless eyes. Bang! When the 10th golden star appeared, the test star disk directly exploded with a bang. 10 stars, divine bloodline. Almost all the people of the ancient clan stared at the golden light column in the sky in amazement. Brother Goof, I wonder if Xun'er has surprised you this time? Xun'er slowly opened her eyes, and seemed not surprised by this situation. She looked straight at Goof, feeling a little proud in her heart. Chapter 193. Is it so difficult to look at me? 10-star bloodline grade. I didn't expect Xun'er to be so outstanding. Even in this powerful ancient clan, she is bathed in this kind of great glory, and I am just an insignificant waste in the eyes of everyone. In a corner of the square, Yan looked at Xun'er, who was glorious on the high platform, and smiled at first. This smile was really happy for Xun'er's achievement. But soon, the smile on his face froze again. It turned into a strong bitterness hidden in his heart, because Yan realized that if he continued to be as mediocre as he is now in this life, the gap between the two would become larger and larger, and I am afraid that there would be no possibility of Xun'er. As for Goof, he never glanced at the high platform from beginning to end. He held the two children and talked and laughed with care. Now Yixian, and Ziyan beside him. 10-star bloodline looks so powerful. Daddy, what level of bloodline do you have? Now Ziyan asked curiously after listening to the excited words of the people around him. If you want to know what kind of bloodline grade your father has, you will know it in a moment. Goof scratched Ziyan's nose. Your father is the most talented person in the ancient clan today, so his bloodline grade is naturally the highest. Now Yixian replied. To be honest, when they saw that Xun'er's bloodline grade had reached the divine grade, Now Yixian and Kair were both surprised. After all, Xun'er's cultivation speed was too slow, and it seemed that it did not match her bloodline grade. It is indeed the divine bloodline. On the high platform, the face of the ancient clan elder who tested Xun'er's bloodline was very solemn. The next moment, he stretched out his hands respectfully, and then gently clenched them in the air in front of him. As his palms clenched, a dragon pen shining with colorful luster appeared in his hands. As soon as this colorful dragon pen appeared, Almost all the people in the ancient clan present had a touch of respect on their faces. The seven-colored heavenly emperor pen. This ancient clan has not used something for thousands of years. Now, is it finally going to be taken out? With this kind of bloodline power, as long as she is given time, this girl has a great chance of becoming a nine-starred Sheng in the future. Many strong men from other ancient races were moved, envious, and jealous. Brother Gu Fei, I have now been recognized by the seven-colored dragon pen. Can't you come and see me? Xun'er took a deep look at Gu Fei again and found that he had been teasing the child and talking to the two women around him, and never looked at this side. She felt extremely disappointed. At this moment, she really wanted to get Gu Fei's recognition. However, the beautiful scene that she expected to look at Gu Fei in the eye never appeared. Xun'er. At this moment, the elder holding the seven-colored heavenly emperor pen looked at Xun'er and reminded her. Hearing this, Xun'er retracted her gaze and then slightly closed her beautiful eyes. The next moment, the face of the elder of the ancient clan became solemn again, and a monstrous aura surged out of his body. Then his palm holding the colorful emperor's pen suddenly tightened, and his arm suddenly danced. A series of colorful clan patterns appeared on Xun'er's smooth forehead. As the colorful clan patterns appeared one by one, the palm of the elder of the ancient clan holding the emperor's pen could not help but tremble slightly, and the fighting spirit in his body also flowed away like a tide at this moment. What a terrible emperor's pen! No wonder no one in the ancient clan has been qualified to use it for thousands of years. Just the degree of consumption of swallowing fighting spirit. If you don't have the strength of a fighting saint, I'm afraid you will be sucked dry in an instant. Feeling the fighting spirit disappearing rapidly in his body, the face of the elder of the ancient clan also sank slightly, and then quickly concentrated his mind and controlled the perfect trajectory of the pen. Swish! The colorful emperor's pen danced in the air about half an inch away from Xun'er's forehead. 10 minutes later, this kind of drawing was finally completed under the eyes of everyone. Okay. Hearing the words of the elder, Xun'er's slightly closed eyes slowly opened, and the moment her eyes opened, the seven-color family pattern on her forehead suddenly burst into a strong seven-color light. The seven-color family pattern. My ancient clan has finally appeared again after 1,000 years. I wonder what kind of surprise Gu Fei will bring us next. When the seven-color light burst out, a few old laughs sounded faintly in the distant sky, and this laugh was fleeting. Next, let me personally preside over it. Soon, another old man came here and took over the work of testing blood. Moreover, this person's strength is much stronger than the elder who just tested the blood. Seeing the ancient clan's operation, many Zongzi strongmen who came to watch the ceremony, as well as those from ancient races who came to watch the ceremony, were all shocked. But soon, someone understood. It seems that the next person to appear is the young Master Gu Fei, who is known as the first prodigy of the ancient clan. Young Master Gu Fei can be rated as the first prodigy, so his bloodline grade must be strong. Could it be that two members of the ancient clan with divine bloodlines were born in the same era? It shouldn't be possible. Divine bloodlines are rarely seen in 1,000 years. Young Master Gu Fei's cultivation is indeed outstanding, but perhaps due to chance, his bloodline grade may not be very high. For a moment, many eyes were on Gu Fei, who was chatting and laughing with his family. Next, Gu Fei, as expected, the elder of the ancient clan who had just appeared, read out Gu Fei's name. Daddy, Daddy, it's your turn. Hearing someone reading her father's name, Xiao Yan waved excitedly. I wonder what realm Daddy will reach. He should be more powerful than that person. Wash Wang was also looking forward to it. Looking at the reactions of the two children, Gu Fei smiled, then handed the children to Xiao and care, and walked slowly onto the stage. Brother Gu Fei, I hope you can surprise everyone. On the edge of the high platform, Xun'er smiled brightly and blessed Gu Fei. At this moment, she looked very calm and generous. She actually stayed on the stage for a while on purpose, and only walked down at this time, just to get a chance to get close to Gu Fei. However, Gu Fei pretended not to hear her blessing, and then walked towards the testing elder without stopping. It seems that Ms. Xun'er of the Gu clan is in vain. It is said that they were husband and wife at the beginning, and when they got married, they attracted the envy of thousands of people. It's a pity that the man is talented and the woman is beautiful. and both have natural talents, but in the end, they ended up going their separate ways. This scene was noticed by some people who were close to them, triggering a series of whispers. Chapter 194. Want to kill me? See if you can get away alive. In my opinion, there is nothing to regret about this matter. Back then, it was because Master Goof couldn't stand some things that he chose to divorce his wife. That thing was done by Miss Xun'er herself, and she was too much. If it weren't for this, with Miss Xun'er's looks and talent, who would be willing to divorce his wife? That's right, I heard that when Xiao Yan came to the ancient world this time, Miss Xun'er didn't have a clear sense of boundaries. In this way, what can she save? What they said is right, I really should keep some distance from Xiao Yan, so as not to cause Brother Goof to misunderstand. Hearing the conversations of the people around her, Xun'er, who was a little embarrassed, didn't say a word. Although many of these words were mocking her, they were not made up. At least, after listening to some of them, Xun'er agreed with them in her heart. She didn't stop and walked to her previous position silently. How can these people do this? Looking at this scene, Xiao Yan was very angry. Xun'er and Goof were clearly reunited. How come these people said that Goof unilaterally divorced his wife? Xun'er, these people are too much. How can they say that to you? The next moment, Xiao Yan stood up and walked to Xun'er's side to comfort her. Okay, I know what's going on. Hearing Xiao Yan's words, Xun'er subconsciously waved her hand, signaling Xiao Yan to stop. This was the first time Xiao Yan saw an expression of impatience with him on Xun'er's face. This expression deeply hurt Xiao Yan, and it was more uncomfortable than being ridiculed. At this moment, he could only walk away silently. On the high platform, Goof stretched out his hand and touched the star disk. In just a moment, 9 stars appeared on the star disk in succession. Then, a golden fluorescence appeared and quickly gathered into a golden star. This star was much more dazzling than the one Xun'er had tested before. After the 10th star appeared, another fluorescent light seemed to appear next to it. However, at this time, the star disk suddenly collapsed, and that scene was not noticed by anyone. Oh my god, another 10-star bloodline. Moreover, the 10th star that appeared in the test of Master Goof is obviously much more dazzling than the one when Miss Xun'er tested it just now. This also means that the bloodline grade of Master Goof is higher than that of Miss Xun'er. After the golden star appeared, almost everyone in the square began to get excited. In the same era, 2 divine bloodlines appeared, and each one was stronger than the other. What would happen if they grew up? Haha, God bless my ancient clan. The elder who tested Goof had already reached the level of Cheng, but at this moment, his heart couldn't help but beat faster. Oh, Daddy is so awesome. Wash Wang and Zioxian saw that everyone around them was praising Goof, and they shouted happily. My husband is really excellent. Now Yixian and Kair both had bright smiles on their faces. Who doesn't want their other half to be the kind of person that everyone pays attention to? On the high platform, Goof looked at the 2 little guys who were jumping and cheering for him, and smiled and waved in response. But the next moment, his sight shifted to a corner. There, 3 black-robed men stood. Although he couldn't see the faces of these 3 people, Goof still felt a fleeting killing intent, and the system prompt also confirmed that Goof's perception was not wrong. Damn, how can this guy's perception be so sharp? The Soul Clan member lowered his head. The 3 of them were indeed discussing how to eliminate Xun'er and Goof, because, if the 2 divine bloodlines grow up, it will be a great threat to the Soul Clan. If you want to kill me, then it depends on whether you can leave the ancient world alive. Goof glanced coldly. Then, the 7-color Tandy pen was once again invited out by the elder of the ancient clan. Goof, are you ready? Elder, start. Goof nodded, then closed his eyes and asked the elder to draw the clan pattern for him. Perhaps because Goof's cultivation had also reached the Cheng, this drawing process seemed a bit laborious even for the 3-starred Cheng elder in front of him, and the drawing was very slow. Every stroke consumed a huge amount of fighting spirit in the elder's body. All right. A few minutes later, hearing the elder's voice, Goof slowly opened his eyes. On his forehead, a gorgeous 7-color family pattern appeared, emitting colorful light. Plop. Under this burst of colorful light, most of the Gu clan members present could not suppress the huge pressure from the depths of their souls. With a plop, They knelt down with fanatic faces. As expected of Brother Goof, his bloodline grade is obviously higher than mine. Xun'er sat in the audience and looked at Goof, who had obtained the 7-color family pattern, very seriously. Next, she subconsciously stretched out her jade hand and touched her forehead. There was a 7-color family pattern exactly the same as Goof's. In the same era, only the two of them obtained this 7-color family pattern, which made Xun'er cherish it very much. Haha, this kid Goof really didn't disappoint us. After a few years, maybe he will surpass us old guys. In the void, those ancient clan strongmen who secretly observed this coming-of-age ceremony left with laughter after Goof obtained the 7-color clan pattern. Let's go. Xun'er and Goof have both tested their bloodlines. There's nothing to see. Some people in the square also left. I shouldn't have come to such an occasion. Yan stood up in a state of despair and walked out of the square. He had already made plans to leave the ancient world as soon as Yao Lao woke up. Time passed quickly and it was night. Zhuan Kongcai had been waiting outside a hall during this period. Suddenly, he noticed that the seal in the hall had some movement. The seal is loose. It seems that the old guy has woken up. Zhuan Kongcai looked overjoyed. The next moment, an old and familiar figure slowly walked out of the hall door. Teacher, old man, you are finally alive. Seeing the old figure walking out, Yan and Feng were also very excited. Yao Lao has awakened, as the #1 alchemist once famous in Zhangzhou. The status of Xin'an Pavilion will rise to a new height. This time, it's really thanks to that young master Goof. After resurrection, Yao Lao moved his new body a little, and then planned to find Goof to give him the promised reward. Yesterday, everyone voted for a lot of monthly tickets, which encouraged me. I also saw many book friends urging for more, so I must add one more chapter today. But I don't have any manuscripts saved. I will post one chapter after I finish coding it, not all at once. Chapter 195. Yan. Do you really not have the ancient jade? On the mountain peak, Goof, Dao Yixian and Kair sat quietly in the pavilion and admired the night view. On the other side, Xianli and Washuang were playing with their new friend Lingxi. Although Lingxi was 12 years old, she could get along well with the two little guys. Husband, in 2 days, the heavenly tomb will be opened. At that time, you will have to be in seclusion for a long time again. In the pavilion, Dao Yixian suddenly mentioned the opening of the heavenly tomb space in 2 days. Over the years, Goof has been in seclusion more and more times, and the time is getting longer and longer. And every time Goof is in seclusion, Dao Yixian feels empty in his heart. This seclusion won't be long. Every time the heavenly tomb is opened, the people inside will spend 3 years, but only half a year will pass in the outside world. Goof also knew that Dao Yixian was reluctant to let him go, but in order to deal with the Soul Clan in the future, Goof must hurry up to improve. And the extra 2.5 years after entering the heavenly tomb are also relatively important for a genius like Goof. Well, I hope that this time, husband, you can be promoted again. Dao Yixian nodded. Although she hoped that Goof could stay with her and her child for a long time, she could understand Goof. My husband, what did you think when you saw Lingxi last night? At this time, Kair suddenly asked a question hidden in her heart. I can't explain these things to you too clearly for the time being. I can only say that my reaction at that time was just because Lingxi came from the spirit clan. Goof shook his head and said, now that the spirit clan has not been destroyed by the soul clan, some things are naturally not suitable to be said. From what my husband said, it's because the people of the spirit clan are surprised to come to the ancient realm. Is it because the spirit clan and the ancient clan have a bad relationship and rarely interact with each other? This explanation doesn't seem to make sense. Or, my husband, you think that the spirit clan would not be able to come to the ancient realm this time because of some things, but they came in the end. Queen Medusa is very smart. Based on Goof's words and his previous reactions, she immediately guessed something. Haha, Kair, you are really smart. You almost gave the answer. Goof smiled slightly. Kair also knew that Goof would not hide anything from her under normal circumstances, and he must have some difficulties, so she did not continue to ask. Master, someone at the foot of the mountain wants to see you. He said he is here to thank you. At this time, the Lion King rushed to the top of the mountain from the middle of the mountain and reported to Goof. Let them come. Gu's soul power has now entered the great perfection of the heavenly realm, and he has long sensed the arrival of Yao Chen, Feng's and others. "Hello, Master Gu." Not long after, Yao Chen, Feng's, and Yan came to the outside of the pavilion. "It seems that you can adapt to this new body." Looking at Yao Chen, Gu replied. This sentence was also a hint to Yao Chen. "This time, I came here specially to thank Master Gu for his kindness." Hearing this, Yao Chen stopped talking nonsense. He lightly tapped the black ring with his finger, and a ball of dark white flame rose from it, and then floated in front of Yao Chen. It was the bone spirit cold fire. Next, Yao Chen lightly tapped the bone spirit cold fire with his finger. The latter suddenly trembled violently, and after a while, the trembling stopped, and Yao Chen's face turned pale. "Master Gu, the soul mark in the bone spirit cold fire has been removed by me. However, this bone spirit cold fire has been refined by me for many years. Even if the soul mark has been removed, it will still have a lot of resistance." Yao Chen handed the bone spirit cold fire to Gu and kindly reminded Gu. Beside him, Yan looked at the dark white flame in Yao Lao's hand, feeling a lot of emotion in his heart. This bone spirit cold fire should be the thing that has been with his teacher for the longest time, but now, its soul mark has been wiped out by the teacher himself. The teacher must be reluctant to part with the bone spirit cold fire. However, compared to the teacher's ability to regain a new life this time, these foreign fires are nothing. Yan sighed in his heart. "Yeah." Gu nodded slightly, took the dark white flame, and then planted the soul mark on it and injected it into the center of his eyebrows to warm it up. The bone spirit cold fire is different from other strange fires. This kind of fire gives people an extremely cold feeling, but within that coldness, there is a violent and extremely hot power hidden. The two abnormal and opposing forces are perfectly integrated together, which makes people have to admire the magic of this world. "If you have nothing to do, please go ahead." After accepting the bone spirit cold fire, Gu ordered Yao Chen and the others to leave. He did not want to have too many interactions with these people. This incident was just a transaction. "I'm leaving." Yao Lao bowed his hands again to express his gratitude, and then turned around to leave. At this time, Gu noticed that several elders from the clan had arrived here. Wait a minute. In the distortion of space, several elders of the Gu clan, led by Gu Nanhai, appeared outside the pavilion and stopped Yao Chen and his group. However, their eyes were not on Yao Chen, but on Yan beside him. "Elder Nanhai, how did you have time to come to Gu's place?" Gu stood up and greeted everyone. "Haha, Gu, I'm not here to find you this time, but for the descendants of the Zhao clan." Gu Nanhai smiled and replied to Gu, then looked at Yan. "You are Yan, right?" The boy is Yan. Although Gu Nanhai and others had extremely powerful auras, Yan behaved neither humble nor arrogant, and stood very straight. However, he was also very confused. He didn't understand why such a strong man from the Gu clan came to find him specifically. If he wanted to deal with him for some reason, he would never send such a strong man. "Yan, I guess you know now that you are a descendant of the ancient Zhao clan." "Yes." Hearing this topic, Yan nodded with a very serious expression. "Then I wonder if there is a piece of strange ancient jade in your Zhao family?" Gu Nanhai continued to ask. "Ancient jade?" Hearing this, Yan was surprised, and then he remembered the jade token of the head of the family that the elder gave him when he left home. Could it be that the people of the Gu clan want to get the jade token of the head of my Zhao family? My Zhao family doesn't have any rare ancient jade. Out of caution, Yan did not tell the truth, even though the ancient jade was on him. "You really don't have any ancient jade?" At this moment, Gu suddenly spoke. With the emotional system, few people in this world can deceive Gu. Yan hesitates, becomes panicked and nervous, and his emotional value increases by 200. After notifying the emotional value prompt, Gu concluded that Yan was carrying the ancient jade. The second update is a bit late, but I will definitely do the extra update I promised today. Chapter 196. Was my father captured by your ancient clan? Gu's sudden question seemed to bring a special sense of oppression to Yan, who had just lied. For a moment, Yan showed the tension in his heart on his face. Seeing Yan's hesitation, Gu Nanhai and the other old men could naturally see that Yan was lying. "Yan, Have you thought it through? You really don't have any special ancient jade? Gu Nanhai's voice was a little unhappy. Invisibly, there was a Cheng pressure, and the pressure was so strong that even Yao Chen, who had recovered to the strength of Xun, felt terrified. Yanzi, I remember that when you left the Zhao family, the elder seemed to have handed you a jade token of the family head inheritance. Perhaps, the ancient jade that the elders of the Gu clan mentioned is that thing. When Xiao Yan was still hesitating, Yao Chen, as a teacher, was worried that Xiao Yan would get into trouble, so he answered on behalf of Xiao Yan. Because he knew the power of the Gu clan, if he deceived the Gu clan Sheng, he couldn't guarantee what the Gu clan would do next. It is obviously safer to admit it voluntarily or be found out by the Gu clan. Seniors, this piece of jade is just the inheritance of our Zhao family's patriarch. It is very ordinary. It should not be what you are looking for. Yan knew that Yao Lao was worried about him. It had come to this point and he could not hide it anymore. A piece of emerald jade appeared in his hand. In the center of the jade, a light spot was slowly moving. Yan carefully stroked the jade. Whenever he saw the light spot and the jade was still there, Yan would breathe a sigh of relief, because that light spot was the soul mark left by his father. If Zhan died, then this wandering light spot would dissipate. Now the soul light spot left by Zhan is still strong, which means that there is no worry about his life. Ancient jade, it is really ancient jade. Haha. I didn't expect that this ancient jade is really in the hands of this branch of the Zhao clan. Seeing the jade piece that Xiao Yan took out, Gu Nanhai and others suddenly showed excitement on their faces. Xiao Yan, give this jade piece to my Gu clan. You can make any conditions you want. Gu Nanhai did not directly snatch it, but proposed a deal with Xiao Yan. No, only with this thing can I know whether my father is still alive. It must not be given to anyone else. Hearing Gu Nanhai's words, Xiao Yan shook his head and refused without hesitation, and held the ancient jade tightly in his hand. Young man, don't be ungrateful. Seeing this, several old men beside Gu Nanhai immediately showed displeasure, and their voices were full of threats. The Gu clan had been eyeing the Zhao clan's ancient jade many years ago. This time, the Zhao clan took the initiative to deliver the ancient jade to their door, so how could they let it go easily? Why, the Gu clan, which has always had a good reputation on the mainland, is this going to rob it? At this moment, threatened by the elders of the Gu clan, Xiao Yan actually bit the bullet and said something back. Little Yanzi. As soon as Xiao Yan finished speaking, Yao Chen shouted, "Don't be rude." Zong dared to confront Sheng directly. What a suicidal act. Fortunately, it was the ancient clan. If it was any other powerful force, Xiao Yan would have been smashed into a ball of meat paste. Teacher. Being scolded by Yao Chen, Xiao Yan's eyes turned red at this moment, and a strong sense of unwillingness emerged. Alas, Yao Chen sighed. He felt sorry for Xiao Yan. The most likable thing about this disciple was that he was neither humble nor arrogant, and never bowed his head when he met a strong person, and was unwilling to admit defeat. Unfortunately, what they faced today was the ancient clan, which they could not fight against no matter what. If they really angered the ancient clan, they might not be able to leave this mountain today. With the strength of the ancient clan, who killed the three of them? Who in the world would dare to say a word? Yanzi, since your father is safe and sound now, he should be fine in the short term. Today, why not lend this ancient jade to a few seniors for research? Yao Chen persuaded Xiao Yan gently. He didn't want Xiao Yan to die at such a young age. But this proves that my father is still alive. Xiao Yan also understood his teacher's painstaking efforts, but his character was like this. If he lost the ancient jade today, he would rather die. If you are only considering your father's soul mark, this is very simple. I will peel your father's soul mark from the ancient jade. In the pavilion, Gu Fei watched all this silently, and spoke again at this moment. As the faint voice fell, Gu Fei's majestic soul power surged from his eyebrows. Then it directly poured into the jade piece tightly held in Xiao Yan's hand. In the jade piece, the wandering light spot was quickly taken out by Gu Fei's soul power. Then it was put back into an ordinary white jade by Gu Fei. Such a terrifying soul power. I guess he has reached the great perfection of the heavenly realm. This boy is less than 30 years old. He is simply a monster. At this moment, Yao Chen, who had recovered his strength, truly felt the soul pressure of Gu Fei and was extremely surprised. Even the Yao clan, which was famous for refining medicine, had never seen such a monster. Not bad, Gu Fei still has a way. Seeing this scene, Gu Nanhai and the others were full of admiration. And now, Yan's previous reason for refusing to hand over the ancient jade has been blocked. Now family Junior, I still say the same thing. As long as you hand over the jade piece, you can ask for any conditions you want. Gu Nanhai's eyes were fixed on Yan, waiting for him to make the final decision. If Yan still refused this time, they would not have the patience. Junior is willing to hand over the jade piece. Yan glanced at Gu Fei, who had just transferred his father's soul mark. There seemed to be some gratitude in his eyes, because this was considered to be a way for him to step down. However, seniors, can you tell me the origin of this jade piece? Yan suddenly asked when he handed over the jade piece. This. Gu Nanhai took the jade piece, hesitated a little, and then shook his head and said, "This matter is of great importance. It won't do you any good to know it. Do you have any other requests?" "I haven't thought about it yet." Yan's thoughts were very confused at the moment. Seeing how much these ancient clan elders cared about this jade piece, Yan had a little doubt in his heart. Maybe his father's disappearance was related to this ancient jade. Could it be that my father's disappearance was done by the ancient clan? A guess emerged in Yan's mind. It's a little late as promised, but fortunately it's done. Thank you all for your support. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 197 Xun'er, Yan, don't come to see me again. Xun'er, as the pride of the ancient clan, must know something about these things. I have to find a chance to ask Xun'er about this matter. Yan secretly made up his mind. It's up to you. After the opening of the heavenly tomb, most of the guests will be sent out of the ancient world. Think about it in the next 2 days. If it's after this time, I won't care about you. Hearing Yan's answer, Gu Nanhai's face relaxed and didn't care at all. With his status, can't he meet the request made by Yan? Edzong, Junior, I'll take my leave first. After Yan bowed, he left Gu Fei's mountain with Yao Lao and Feng Zun's. Gu Fei, the Xiao clan's ancient jade is now in hand. I won't stay any longer. Come to your place for tea next time. Gu Nanhai didn't stay any longer. The space around the few people fluctuated, and then their figures disappeared on the spot. As Gu Nanhai and the others left, Gu fell into deep thought again. Chuash Ancient Emperor Jade is related to the Ancient Emperor Cave Mansion and is the key to open the Ancient Emperor Cave Mansion. However, this Chuash Ancient Emperor Jade has already been divided into 8 parts. If any of them is missing, it will not have any effect. The Xiao clan's ancient jade has been coveted by the Gu clan's high-level officials many years ago. Now that they have obtained the Xiao clan's ancient jade, they may have other ideas. Just now, Gu Fei was thinking that the Gu clan must let the people of the Soul clan know about this matter since they took the Xiao clan's ancient jade. In this way, the people of the Soul clan will be suspicious of this, and perhaps some plans will be delayed again. When the time is right, I will add fuel to the fire and make the Soul clan completely afraid. Gu Fei made a decision in his heart. He now wants to stop the Soul clan from carrying out their plan. Otherwise, when the Soul clan destroys the Spirit clan and the Stone clan, and absorbs the blood power of the people of the 2 clans with the ability of the void-devouring flame, the strength of their people will become even stronger. Gu Fei, on his side, needs to improve his strength as soon as possible so that he can play a key role in the future war between the 2 clans. The next morning, Xun'er's residence. The environment here is quiet and incompatible with the ancient clan palace complex. The day after tomorrow is the day when the heavenly tomb will be opened. This time, I can enter the heavenly tomb with brother Gu Fei, so I must seize the opportunity. In the room, Xun'er sat cross-legged on the bed. While practicing, her mind had already drifted to the time when she was alone with Gu Fei 2 days later. Miss Yan is here. Suddenly, Ling Ying came to pass on a message outside Xun'er's room. Yan, what is he doing here? In the room, Xun'er heard this and a little surprise appeared on her beautiful face. If you don't want to see him, I'll let him leave now. Forget it, let him come. Xun'er hesitated for a moment, and finally nodded and ordered. She knew that Xiao Yan would not choose to come to her like this under normal circumstances. I'm afraid this time there is something important. After a while, she changed into a new dress and slowly walked out of the room. Xun'er, thank you for seeing me. Seeing Xun'er coming out of the room, Xiao Yan showed a smile on his face. Tell me, what do you want to talk to me about? Xun'er frowned slightly. Since the coming-of-age ceremony yesterday, she has always remembered one thing, that is, if she wants to develop with Gu Fei again, she can't have too many entanglements with other men. If Xiao Yan comes to find her this time, if it gets out, people will misunderstand her again. Xun'er, I want to ask, do you know where my father went? Xiao Yan said meaningfully. What happened to Uncle Xiao? In recent years, Xun'er has basically not paid much attention to Xiao Yan, so she didn't know about Xiao Zan's disappearance, and she seemed surprised at this time. You really don't know? Xiao Yan, what do you mean? Would I lie to you? Hearing the questioning tone in Xiao Yan's tone, Xun'er was a little unhappy. I believe you. Xiao Yan's face was solemn. He said this, but Xiao Yan's heart was still full of doubts. He remembered one thing. Xun'er was born in the extremely powerful ancient clan. Why did she come to his Xiao family when she was young? It must be that the ancient clan had already started to set their sights on the Xiao family since then. However, Xiao Yan also understood that since Xun'er refused to tell him, he would not get any results if he continued to ask. Xun'er, I have another question. Do you know about the ancient jade? Xiao Yan continued to ask. Ancient jade? Why did he suddenly ask this? Xun'er looked a little evasive. She was originally arranged to go to the Xiao family to find out if the Xiao family had any ancient jade. You are talking about the Chuash ancient emperor jade, right? That thing is not a top secret in the mainland. It is rumored that the ancient emperor jade can open the legendary ancient emperor cave. However, now the ancient jade has been divided into 8 parts and has been lost to the 8 ancient clans. Xun'er explained slowly. If it is not the ancient clan, then who would have taken my father away? Seeing that Xun'er was speaking very frankly, Xiao Yan was a little suspicious whether he had guessed wrong. Xun'er, you also know that I don't know much about the past of the Xiao clan. Can you tell me about the Xiao clan? Suddenly, Xiao Yan's voice softened, and he looked at Xun'er deeply with a pleading look. The ancient Xiao clan, thousands of years ago, was able to compete with our ancient clan. However, your Xiao clan ancestor Yuan, the top powerhouse on the continent at that time, sacrificed the blood of his entire clan in order to challenge the emperor, but failed in the end. After the failure, Yuan was seriously injured because of the reduction of blood power. At that time, the Xiao clan was suddenly attacked by the Soul clan and the entire clan was killed. Your clan ancestor Yuan is now buried in the heavenly tomb. Seeing Xiao Yan's pleading look, Xun'er finally softened her heart and told Xiao Yan all the secrets she knew about the past. The unparalleled ancestor of our clan thousands of years ago was buried in the heavenly tomb. Xiao Yan heard that his ancestor had the strength to challenge the emperor, and he admired this ancestor very much. In his heart, he had the idea of going to the heavenly tomb to pay homage to the ancestor of the Xiao clan. Then is there a way for me to enter the heavenly tomb? Xiao Yan asked with some expectation, and quickly explained. I just want to worship the ancestors of my clan. The heavenly tomb opens every 20 years, and your Xiao clan originally had 2 quotas. However, over the years, the 2 quotas of the Xiao clan have been borrowed by my clan. You have little chance of getting the quota again. After Xun'er said this, she turned around and walked into the room without waiting for Xiao Yan to answer. Before closing the door, Xun'er's last words made Xiao Yan stand still. Xiao Yan, if it is not necessary in the future, you should not come to me. Chapter 198. The heavenly tomb opens, and the ancient demon's murderous intent. Xun'er. At this moment, Xiao Yan seemed to feel that he had lost something very important. The air around him seemed to be still. Xiao Yan could clearly hear his own heartbeat. Ah, Xiao Yan, let's go. After a long time, Ling Ying came over, patted Xiao Yan on the shoulder, and motioned him to leave. Xiao Yan walked down Xun'er's mountain like a lost soul, and then returned to his residence. On the 3rd day, when the first ray of morning light poured down from the sky, a strange atmosphere spread from the ancient Saint Mountains. Today is the time for the heavenly tomb to be opened. Unfortunately, Only people of your ancient race are qualified to enter. Standing in front of the bamboo house, Gao Yixian carefully tidied up Gu's clothes. Kair brought Shuang and Xian, two little guys, and looked at Goof tenderly beside him. After Yixian tidied up Goof's clothes, the group stood on the back of the Lion King. Brother Goof, when you come out of the heavenly tomb, you must accompany me to Dragon Island. After arriving on the back of the Lion King, Xian suddenly approached Goof. Their faces were less than a foot apart, and they could feel each other's breath. Okay, I promise you, when you come out of the heavenly tomb, I will accompany you to ancient Dragon Island and let you become the queen as soon as possible. Goof smiled. He had indeed delayed this matter for many years. Now, Xian has shown signs of impacting the 5-starred Sheng. It will be much safer to return to Dragon Island. Don't lie to me anymore. Xian got the result, and then moved her face away from Goof. Next, the Lion King fluttered its wings and flew towards the east of the ancient Saint Mountains. The place where the heavenly tomb was opened was deep in the ancient Saint Mountains. It was generally considered a forbidden area for the ancient clans, and people were not allowed to enter at ordinary times. But today, many people came to this forbidden area, including people from various ancient races and some major forces in Zhangzhou. On one of the hilltops, a veiled woman in red looked over there intently after Goof arrived. Brother Goof, if we enter this heavenly tomb separately, we will be randomly teleported away. Otherwise, let's go in together later. Xun'er saw Goof coming and immediately came to Goof with a smile on her face. However, facing Xun'er's invitation, Goof ignored her at all. Brother Goof, this heavenly tomb is so dangerous. If I enter alone, I'm afraid something unexpected will happen. Let's go in together. Just think of it as protecting people of the same clan. Seeing that Goof ignored her, Xun'er changed to a coquettish tone. Most people would probably be moved to agree to her delicate and beautiful appearance. This scene made Kair and Yixian beside Goof speechless. They secretly sighed that Xun'er's psychological quality was really strong. Haha, you are too shameless, woman. Xian laughed at the side without any hesitation. Xun'er's behavior, like a little woman's coquettish behavior, made Goof frown. He didn't care about Xun'er's face and said lightly, since you're so afraid of danger, you might as well give this experience opportunity to others. I think Gu Zhen really needs this opportunity. Brother Goof, Xun'er looked helpless. She didn't expect Goof to persuade her not to participate in the trial of the heavenly tomb. At this moment, Goof noticed that the world was shaking violently, and a vast, ancient breath slowly spread out from the void space. Under this ancient breath, everyone present was in awe from the depths of their souls. The heavenly tomb is about to open. Looking at the sky that suddenly darkened, Goof whispered softly. As soon as his words fell, the void space suddenly burst into a shocking sound, and then a huge space crack of 1,000 feet spread directly from the sky. In the center of the space crack, a ball of silver light gradually emerged, and finally turned into a huge space door of 100 feet, and the vast, ancient atmosphere emanated from it. Everyone, you should know the rules for entering the heavenly tomb. Each clan has 2 quotas, and there must not be too many entering. Gu Nanhai's figure appeared in the sky. He looked around at the figures from various clans around him and said lightly. Everyone nodded slightly. The rules for entering the heavenly tomb have always been like this, and the 2 quotas for each clan have continued to this day. If that's the case, then my clan should also have a quota to enter the heavenly tomb. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded, surprising everyone present. The person who spoke was Xiao Yan. This kid is so bold. How can the Xiao clan have the qualifications to enter the heavenly tomb now? Alas, that's wrong. Since the Xiao clan is no longer worthy of a quota, why does the Gu clan want to occupy the Xiao clan's quota, with 2 more people than our clans? For a moment, everyone was talking about it, and a young man from the Soul clan did not forget to add fuel to the fire. He never tired of doing things that could damage the reputation of the Gu clan. Senior, you promised that day that you would meet any request I made. Now, I just want to get back a quota for my clan to enter the heavenly tomb. Under the gaze of everyone, Xiao Yan came directly to the air to talk to Gu Nanhai. Are you sure you want to make this request? In the sky, Gu Nanhai's face was dark, and his voice was full of pressure from a strong man. Xiao Yan, How dare he? Don't you see what kind of occasion this is? Doesn't he want to die? At this time, Xun'er was also nearby. She looked at Xiao Yan's actions and was very angry. The Xiao clan has fallen to this point. How can they be qualified to get such an opportunity? I'm sure. Could it be that the elder of the ancient clan is the kind of person who doesn't keep his word? Facing the pressure from Gu Nanhai, Xiao Yan straightened his back and said firmly. He firmly believed that the elder of the ancient clan would never attack him in front of so many people because of his face. Xiao Yan, you dare to slander my elder of the ancient clan. I think you are looking for death. The next moment, a cold murderous intention enveloped Xiao Yan's body, making his face pale. Under the gaze of everyone, a man with black and white hair soared into the sky. The person who came was Gu Yao. The reason why he was so angry was that the four places of the ancient clan this time were Gu Fei, Xun'er, Gu King Yang, and himself. Gu Yao couldn't beat the first three. If Xiao Yan took back a place belonging to the Xiao clan, then he, Gu Yao, would automatically be deprived of the opportunity to enter the heavenly tomb. How could he not be angry when a Miran dared to compete with him, the top genius of the ancient clan? Chapter 199, Talking about treason. The bigger the fist, the more reasonable it is. My friend from the ancient clan, I'm not slandering you, the elders of the ancient clan. I'm just reasoning with you. The ancient clan has been using my Xiao clan's quota for so many years. This time, they only gave me one quota. Isn't that unfair? Even though he could sense the strong killing intent from the ancient demon, Xiao Yan still explained seriously. Reasonable? To be fair? Haha, haha. Hearing Xiao Yan's argument, the ancient demon laughed in anger. This kid from the Xiao clan has hit a wall this time. If he gets the quota, the ancient demon will naturally be eliminated. In this case, the ancient demon will definitely not let Xiao Yan live. The ancient demon is on the verge of exploding. This kid is going to be miserable next. Some people from the ancient clan who were watching the excitement began to discuss, and their faces were very indifferent, as if this matter was just a joke and a farce to them. A low-leveled Zong was no different from an ant in their eyes. Such a person still wanted to enter the heavenly tomb. It was simply courting death. Xiao Yan, today I will tell you a rule. In this world, whoever has the bigger fist has the right. A few years ago, Gu Li failed to kill you. You were lucky. This time, I wonder who will come to save you. Die. As the words fell, the seal in the ancient demon's hand changed, and a fierce palm print rushed towards Xiao Yan. With the strength of the ancient demon, if Xiao Yan, a low-leveled Zong, was hit by this palm, he could be reincarnated directly. Am I going to die here like this? After all, I overestimated the character of the people of the ancient clan. After feeling the strength of the ancient demon's attack, Xiao Yan was desperate. Ancient demon, stop! When the fierce palm print was swept out, a colorful light suddenly burst out and offset the palm print that was enough to beat Xiao Yan into a pulp. The person who shot was Xun'er. Although Xun'er had decided before that she would no longer have anything to do with Xiao Yan in the future, however, she couldn't bear to see Xiao Yan die in front of her. It was Xun'er. Xun'er saved me. Xiao Yan opened his eyes and looked at the beautiful figure standing in front of him. His eyes were moist and a warm current surged in his heart. This loser, I didn't expect someone to help him. Haha, I heard that Ms. Xun'er from the Gu clan had a good relationship with that loser. Today I saw that the rumor was true. At the beginning, Master Goof was right to divorce his wife. Some discussions were heard around him. Xun'er, get out of the way. Seeing Xun'er rescue Xiao Yan, the ancient monster in the sky almost spit out flames from his eyes. Ancient demon, let's stop here today. Xiao Yan will not go to the heavenly tomb. Xun'er shouted back to the ancient demon, but did not move away. She turned around and looked at Xiao Yan with a hint of disappointment. Xiao Yan, why can't you see your strength clearly? With your strength, it will be difficult to enter the heavenly tomb. Don't even mention worshipping your ancestors. I don't even know if anyone will worship you next year. Xun'er sighed. Today, my clan will send someone to escort the guests away. You should go with the team and don't come again. Listening to Xun'er's words, Xiao Yan was silent. At this point, he knew that it was impossible to enter the heavenly tomb again. I know, I will leave later. After a moment of silence, Xiao Yan lowered his head. At this moment, he hated his weakness again. If he could be stronger, this ancient demon would not be a threat to him. He would not be looked down upon by Xun'er and embarrassed in front of so many people. Hey, Yanzi, follow the teacher. At this time, Yao Chen, who was watching this side, came to the sky and pulled Yan away. Yao Lao had also thought about taking action just now. However, after a struggle, he finally held back and did not take action. Because before Yan planned to do this, he knelt in front of him and repeatedly begged Yao Chen not to care about this matter, no matter what the attitude of the ancient clan is, even if he wants to kill him. Don't do it. Yan said that he didn't want to implicate Yao Lao and didn't want to cause the destruction of Xinyan Pavilion. This made Yao Chen very tormented. Ancient demon, are you satisfied now? He won't come to the ancient world again in the future. I hope you won't trouble him again in the future. Xun'er didn't look at Yan, but confronted the furious ancient demon. Humphrey, a mere ant. I don't care about him. The ancient demon snorted coldly and didn't continue to argue with Xun'er. He didn't want to make a joke of internal strife in front of outsiders. Well, I believe that all the tribes have already decided on the candidates to enter the heavenly tomb. Gu Nanhai selectively ignored some of the things that had just happened, and spoke lightly. Boom. As his voice fell, the ancient gate in the space crack in the sky suddenly burst into a loud rumbling sound, and then the gate slowly cracked a gap, and dazzling light burst out from it, illuminating the world. Remember, you can only stay in the heavenly tomb for 3 years. After 3 years, the heavenly tomb will automatically squeeze you out. Looking at the slowly cracking ancient gate, Gu Nanhai said again in a deep voice. As the heavenly tomb gate opened, everyone also selectively forgot the little episode just now. One by one, their eyes were fixed on the sky. Boom. Above the sky, the crack of the ancient gate became wider and wider, and later, it was as large as 10 feet, and the rich ancient breath rolled out from it like mist. Swish. As the ancient gate opened, several sounds of breaking wind suddenly sounded. Then, under the gazes of many people, he rushed straight into the open gate. I'll go in first. Xian, Washuang, you two must be good and don't make your mother angry. Don't worry, Daddy, I'm very good. Brother Goof, don't forget to accompany me to Dragon Island after you come out. Goof smiled and said to Zhao Yixian, Kair, and Ziyan beside him. Then his figure flashed and rushed towards the gate. Goof, this trip to the heavenly tomb is dangerous. You are the strongest among the younger generation of the clan. If there is anything, please take care of them. Before Goof entered the ancient gate, a voice transmission entered his ears. Brother Goof, wait for me. Xun'er, on the other hand, saw the opportunity and quickly followed Goof after he entered the heavenly tomb gate, thinking that this would allow the distance between the two to be reduced after random teleportation. After Xun'er, the other geniuses of each clan also quickly poured into the heavenly tomb gate. And when the last person entered, the ancient gate gradually became illusory until it completely disappeared. Chapter 200 Xun'er, Brother Goof, I knew you wouldn't ignore me. In this strange and foggy place, there were occasionally strange flames flickering in the distance, which then disappeared in a flash. Deathly silence enveloped this strange place. Swish. The space suddenly twisted in the silent land, and then a tall figure walked out. Is this the heavenly tomb? When he appeared here, Goof looked around curiously. He grabbed a handful of the foggy gas in front of him and found that the gas contained a very rich energy of heaven and earth. If he practiced here, he would get twice the result with half the effort. However, this is only the first level. The higher the level, the higher the energy concentration. Goof did not stop, but walked directly towards the depths of the first level of the heavenly tomb. In the heavenly tomb, because of the energy pressure, it is impossible to fly for too long. Even Goof, who is now a late-stage Sheng, cannot resist the pressure brought by the energy of heaven and earth for too long. Looking for death. Before he took a few steps, Goof raised his palm slightly, and then suddenly clenched it. The energy in that area was rapidly condensed. In the blink of an eye, the mist dissipated completely, and an illusory figure appeared in Goof's field of vision. This illusory figure is a unique energy body in the heavenly tomb. In the first layer of the heavenly tomb space, most energy bodies are only low-leveled Zun strength. For Goof, there is no threat. He flicked his finger, and the illusory figure suddenly twisted, and then burst open with a puff. After the energy body burst open, a thumb-sized crystal was suspended in the original place, and a little bit of fluorescence and rich energy mist diffused from it. Holding the energy core, Gu Fei practiced the skills, and a stream of pure and warm energy burst out from the energy core, and then all poured into Gu Fei's body. These energies do not need to be refined too much. As long as they circulate along the meridians, they can be absorbed. The third-level energy core is equivalent to the effect of an 8th-grade low-level elixir. This heavenly tomb is really a treasure land for cultivation. After absorbing this energy core, Gu Fei quickly shuttled through the first floor of the heavenly tomb. His goal was to go to the third floor of the heavenly tomb. Only the energy core there could play a big role for a Cheng like him. After a while, a dozen figures with illusory bodies and empty eyes appeared in front of him. They all floated in the air and blocked Gu Fei's route. Gu Fei did not slow down and raised his hand to grab them directly. The dozen energy bodies instantly turned into a dozen energy cores and were caught in Gu Fei's hands. After killing these energy bodies, Gu Fei did not stop and continued to move forward. The vast heavenly tomb is filled with dense energy mist all year round. Moreover, under this energy pressure, anything flying will feel as heavy as a mountain. After a short flight in the sky, it will feel exhausted. And because of this heavenly tomb will seem more and more endless. Somewhere on the edge of the first floor of the heavenly tomb, a pretty figure quickly flashed out to another place. On her jade hand, golden light burst out, and it bombarded the energy bodies that blocked the road as fast as lightning. In a few minutes, all the energy bodies were destroyed by this pretty figure and turned into energy cores. It's been 3 days, and I still haven't seen Brother Gu Fei. Xun'er put away the energy core, and gently opened a strand of black hair on her forehead with her jade hand. She looked a little tired, because she hadn't rested for 3 days. She had been rushing on the road, imagining a scene of encountering Gu Fei. Since you're here, why hide anymore? Have the people of the Soul Clan become so unbearable now? Suddenly, Xun'er frowned slightly, looked in a certain direction to the side, and showed contempt in her eyes. As Xun'er's cold voice fell, the space in the distance also rippled. Immediately, 2 figures in black robes slowly stepped into the air, and a gloomy atmosphere quietly filled the air. Haha, you are indeed the divine bloodline of the ancient clan. Your perception is really sharp. I wonder how the ancient clan feels when the divine bloodline falls in the sky tomb. 2 figures covered in black robes stepped on the void, and then slowly landed not far from Xun'er. At this time, the 2 people had cold murderous intentions. Hun Li, you are really brave. Xun'er stared at the 2 people with cold eyes, and said slowly, it seems that you people of the Hun clan don't want to leave the ancient world. Haha. What's so brave about this? Your identity has no deterrent power to us. Besides, you died in the sky tomb. What reason does the ancient clan have to suspect us? Just you? In Xun'er's eyes, golden flames slowly jumped, and her voice was flat. Bang! At the moment when Xun'er's eyes were surrounded by golden flames, the man named Hun Li stomped his feet on the ground. The fist filled with cold air blasted towards Xun'er without any fancy moves. HMPH, Xun'er snorted coldly, and did not retreat at all, but raised her palm to meet the blow. Boom! The fists and palms collided, and the terrible strong wind directly caused the huge rocks under the feet of the 2 to explode with a bang, and Hun Li's figure also stepped back 2 steps. But at this moment, Hunya's attack also came in front of Xun'er, just dissolving Xun'er's advantage in this fight. The next moment, countless black chains enveloped Xun'er and blocked the space around her. Do you think you can trap me like this? Xun'er sneered, and the golden flame swept away, breaking all the chains with a clanging sound. Gold Emperor Burning Sky Flame? This woman, she has such a strong strength. Hunya was surprised. He felt Xun'er's strength in the first fight. I'm afraid that even if the 2 of them combine their strength, they would not be Xun'er's opponent. Let's retreat first. There may be other people from the ancient clan nearby. We can make plans after we reach the 3rd floor. Hunya's expression changed, and he quickly sent a message to Hun Li beside him. Okay. The 2 were very decisive. After a feint, they quickly moved away from Xun'er. Want to run? Xun'er, who had been suppressed for a long time, burst out at this moment under the provocation of these 2 people, and chased after her. In order to get rid of Xun'er, Hanya and Hun Li reached their extreme speed, flying quickly under the suppression of the energy of heaven and earth. Damn, this woman is crazy and has been chasing us for an hour. After flying for an hour, Hanya and Hun Li had reached their limit and could not bear the pressure, but at this time, Xun'er was still chasing. You too, are you looking for me? Suddenly, a voice came from the space in front of Hanya and Hun Li. The moment they heard this voice, Hanya and Hun Li's faces turned pale instantly. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.